Moscow says fighting has reached the center of the besieged southern Ukrainian port of Mariupol. It said Russian forces and their separatist allies were tightening a noose around the city. In Ukraine's second city, Kharkiv, officials say a university building and 2 blocks of flats were shelled on Friday morning, killing 1 person. President Biden will urge China not to provide Russia with military equipment for its war in Ukraine when he holds talks on the phone with his Chinese counterpart, Xi Jinping, later. US officials have criticized Beijing for failing to denounce the invasion. Our correspondent in Beijing, Stephen McDonnell, says the 2 countries are fighting an information war over events in Ukraine.
When we hear that the Russians have asked China for military assistance, that's come from the US. And on the Chinese side, these allegations that the Americans have these secret biological weapons bases inside Ukraine, that's Beijing essentially delivering the Kremlin's propaganda lines. And Washington has accused Beijing of being very close to the Russian government. Now, Beijing, of course, says we are an impartial player.
Britain's media regulator has revoked the licence of the Kremlin-funded TV channel RT to broadcast in the UK. Ofcom said it had found RT was not fit and proper to hold a licence. RT called the regulator a tool of the British government. Our media correspondent, Amol Rajan, says there were 2 main reasons for Ofcom's decision.
One is due accuracy, the idea that this is a military exercise when it's clearly a war of aggression, and repeated other failures of accuracy is something that Ofcom are concerned about, and also due impartiality. Due impartiality is a very difficult and broad thing to explain, but it broadly means an absence of bringing a certain amount of ideological baggage to journalism, and it'd be fair to say, watching RT, that there is a fair amount of ideological baggage. So it's the fact that it's controlled by a political body in this current context, and Ofcom are concerned about whether or not it satisfies our independent regulatory needs for due accuracy and due impartiality.
BBC News. The medical charity Médecins Sans Frontières has asked Ethiopia to respond to media reports that government forces killed 3 MSS staff members in the Tigray region, where a war began in 2020. The agency says it wants to understand the exact circumstances of the killings. Emmanuel Igunza reports from Nairobi.
The bullet-riddled bodies of Maria Hernandez, Tedros Gebremariam and Johannes Halefom were found last June at a roadside in the northern region of Tigray, just a day after they went missing. The New York Times says it interviewed investigators, senior aid officials and Ethiopian soldiers who all say the 3 were gunned down by retreating Ethiopian government troops on the orders of a commander who was angry to find them in an active combat zone. MSF, which has described the killings as intentional, now wants the government to respond to the New York Times reports. The Ethiopian government is yet to respond to the allegations published on Thursday.
Police in Nigeria have arrested 30 people suspected of kidnapping, robbery and arms smuggling. They're said to include the leader of an armed group who confessed to carrying out kidnappings on the main road between the capital Abuja and Kaduna. A BBC correspondent says many travellers have given up using the expressway after armed men attacked cars and abducted passengers for ransom. Parts of Australia's Great Barrier Reef have again been bleached white because of rising sea temperatures. The announcement comes just days before a UN team arrives in Australia to investigate damage to the World Heritage Site. It could recommend that the reef be placed on the danger list. The first mass bleaching happened 24 years ago, but it's occurred 4 more times since then. Britain has joined a handful of countries to have lifted all COVID travel restrictions. From today, anyone can travel to the UK, whether vaccinated or not, without having to complete any tests or fill out any forms. That's the latest BBC News.
This is The Real Story from the BBC. I'm Ritula Shah with your weekly deep dive into a story that's making news and changing lives. And this week, as Russia's war in Ukraine continues, a sleeping giant awakes. Germany embarks on a path to rearm its military and redefine its national security.
24. Februar 2022 markiert eine Zeiten.
Look, what kind of atrocities are you referring to?
I'm talking about narrow trenches in Mariupol with babies' bodies in. I'm talking about theatres in Mariupol being bombed by Russia.
The theatre in Mariupol was not bombed by Russia. I spoke about it, and you may refer to my statement. I do not know anything about the trenches with killed babies in it. I haven't seen it.
AP journalists have been there.
I've seen so many fakes. We have this information war, which is raging much on a much greater scale than on the battlefield. And I will not be surprised at anything, because who wins the information war? The one wins the war.
Let's take a look at the main developments so far. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has warned foreign mercenaries considering joining Russian forces in Ukraine. It would be the worst decision of their life. US President Joe Biden will speak to Chinese President Xi Jinping this lunchtime and is expected to warn him not to support Russia's military action. Here, the Homes for Ukraine scheme begins accepting applicants today from Ukrainian refugees who have matched up with a sponsor in the UK. And Ofcom has revoked the license of the Kremlin-backed broadcaster RT with immediate effect. Well, the Ministry of Defence says Russia has made little progress all week, and Ukrainian forces are continuing to frustrate Russia's attempts to encircle the capital, Kiev. The Armed Forces Minister James Heappey says that the attack in western Ukraine are concerning.
What's going on in Mariupol is a cause for huge concern. The city is under a level of barrage that is utterly terrifying and disastrous for the population that remains there. The Ukrainian MPs that visited me here in the Ministry of Defence yesterday were telling me that maybe 90% of the city is now being affected. And as you say, there are now 2 strikes into Western Ukraine, the airbase last week and strikes in Lviv last night. So whilst there's no macro progress, we're very concerned about the suffering of the people in Mariupol and other cities that are under siege in the east, and the fact that Ukrainian supply lines are starting to be attacked in the west.
Nick Martin is in the southern port city of Odessa. And Nick, Odessa is such a strategically placed area. And obviously, clearly, it could be the next on Russia's hit list.
Yeah, I think it's inevitable, but just a matter of time now. But certainly this is a city that is certainly expecting that. We've seen other port cities attacked, Mariupol, Mykolaiv, and it's almost inevitable that Odessa is part of Vladimir Putin's plan. Just look at these images that we obtained yesterday, which show a flotilla of Russian warships on the horizon off the Black Sea coast here in Odessa. It's quite a menacing sight, even though these are quite hazy images. They are showing that there is a Russian military and naval buildup on the Black Sea here, which will be part of any kind of plan to try and secure this city. They will, we understand, try to come from the north and the west, and then that naval flotilla will probably sweep in and try and take from the coast, although experts suggest from intelligence that there's no sign yet of an imminent amphibious attack. One is expected, and certainly the military here in Odessa are trying to prepare for that. Overnight there was signs of some kind of attempted attack. The Ukrainian Air Force here in Odessa say that they intercepted a cruise missile which had been fired into the Odessa region from the Black Sea. That defense system appears to have worked, because that missile, we understand, was shot down. So a reminder, if we needed one here in this port city, that threat lurks on the horizon. And people were standing on the main promenade here yesterday, looking out to sea with one of the biggest navies in the world staring back at them. Can you imagine how people here must feel when their lives just a month ago were getting on, pretty ordinary, and a lot has changed since then. So we'd expect Odessa to be part of this invasion. But thankfully it's quite quiet here now. People are getting on with their lives. There were some air raid sirens overnight, yesterday afternoon, which we got caught up in. We saw some people go down into the subways. But ever present on the horizon here now of this Black Sea port is what appears to be a flotilla of Russian warships, poised, no doubt ready.
Nick in Odessa, thank you. The mayor of Kiev says at least one person has been killed and several others injured by shelling in a residential area just north of the capital's city centre. The emergency services said nearly 100 people were evacuated from buildings. Our special correspondent Alex Crawford is on the ground there and this morning spoke to Kiev Mayor Vitaly Klitschko. He was visiting the site following the attack.
We don't know, maybe it's bomb or rocket. We're not clear right now. It's expert give clear information. Hitting here, it's huge print from this rocket. Actually, what is crazy? It's front of them preschool, and you see the damaged preschool. Thanks God, nobody was in preschool and school. 6 buildings is damaged. Nobody can live in these buildings. We evacuate right now the people. But one more fact is the war against civilians. I doesn't see military people here. It's no military base. It's just apartments from civilians.
A lot of attacks against civilians.
One more example. The Russian propaganda, Russian liar. What they explain about some special operation, especially against Ukrainian military forces. This war against civilians, against Ukrainian population.
How far do you think this period? And we thought that the negotiation was going well, we had the progress. Do you think that Russians use this negotiation to reorganize, to delay and to reorganize their army?
I'm not involved, and that's why I doesn't give a commentary for that. But definitely negotiation and compromise not in the price of Ukraine. We are not aggressive. We are not touch anyone. We have aggressors in our land, and aggressors killing our people. Which compromise? Which solution? I don't know. It's a very difficult question, and that's why I don't know. It's the question to Zelensky.
What do you feel for the next days?
Do you expect more attacks, Mr. Mayor?
What do you feel? It's going to stop.
It's going
to be difficult, tougher.
If you look in Mariupol, if you look in Kharkiv, if you look in other cities, Chernihiv right now, where the civilian will be destroyed, the city will be destroyed. I expect the Russians do it exactly the same way in Kiev.
Mayor Klitschko, how far do you think this will impact the spirit of the Kiev residents, the Ukrainian people, these constant attacks against civilians?
The spirit, please talk to the people, the spirit and the will to fight, to give the answer. If Russians think people will be disappointed, if people will be impressed and depressive, it's not. People want to fight, and every day the civilian ask me, please, Mayor, we need the weapons, we're ready to defend our families, our houses and our city.
Do you think there's any mistake? This could have been a mistake, or was this deliberately targeting civilians?
Okay, if we're talking about mistake, here's mistake. Last morning was a mistake, 24 hours ago, 2 days ago was mistake, huge mistake, destroyed the Kharkiv and Mariupol. How many mistakes they do it? How many civilians have to killed? And after that to explain about mistake from Russian forces.
Do you expect the help?
For Europeans, stay with Ukraine. Unity is our key. Total pressure to Russian Federation, economic pressure, sanction, political pressure, and support of Ukraine, because we need support right now to stop the war. We have to stop the war. We have to stop the kill the people, children. Right now, by the way, 19 people right now in hospital.
From this morning attack?
From this attack, 4 from them is children. 1 people died.
So, Mayor Klitschko, what is your message to Putin?
He's unhealthy. It's not reason to talk to him. He do it to do it like that is my hometown with my home country. It can do it healthy man. He's unhealthy.
Well, the Kremlin-backed broadcaster RT has had its licence revoked by Ofcom with immediate effect. Britain's television watchdog says it does not consider RT's licence fit and proper to hold a UK broadcast licence. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov spoke in English on the channel earlier.
What the American wants is unipolar world, which would be not like a global village, which would be like an American village and maybe American saloon where, you know, who is the strongest is calling the shots. There are players who would never accept the global village under the American sheriff. And China, India, Brazil, Argentina, Mexico. I am sure these countries do not want to be just in a position when Uncle Sam orders them something and they say, yes, sir.
Well, Ofcom has released a statement which says we do not consider RT's licensee, ANO TV Novosti, fit and proper to hold a UK broadcast licence. Today's decision comes amid 29 ongoing investigations by Ofcom into the due impartiality of RT's news and current affairs coverage of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. We consider the volume and potentially serious nature of the issues raised within such a short period to be of great concern, especially given RT's compliance history, which has seen the channel fined £200,000 for previous due impartiality breaches. Well, joining me now live in the city is our business presenter, Ian King, who's been following the story. And Ian, the news was inevitable, really, wasn't it? And in a sense, the UK is playing catch-up here.
Yes, the UK certainly is playing catch-up. RT was made subject to an EU-wide ban just days after the invasion on the 24th. It was banned in the EU 3 days later. The United States also banned RT last week, and Canada did yesterday. And there is a sense that there was a bit of a political impetus to this, very interestingly, because Boris Johnson is said to have asked Ofcom to come up with a quick decision after it began investigating these 29 individual complaints into RT. And actually, Sir Keir Starmer, the leader of the opposition, said a week or so ago that he thought RT's licence should be revoked. So it has been coming for a while, this. In a sense, there may be some surprise that this didn't happen a few years ago, because in July 2019, Ofcom, as it mentioned in that statement there, fined RT a record £200,000. That was for a number of impartiality breaches, many of which were around the Salisbury poisonings, and one in particular referred to a chat show called Sputnik, which aired on RT and which was chaired by George Galloway, the former MP, during which he cast doubt on Vladimir Putin's involvement in the Salisbury poisonings. Other complaints that were made against RT around that time were its coverage of the Syrian war. It came up with a particularly pro-Assad view of the war in Syria, and it also aired a documentary package on Ukraine's treatment of Roma people, which was deemed by Ofcom not to be particularly accurate. So there have been a whole host of complaints against this channel over the years, and as I say, some were surprised in July 2019 that Ofcom didn't revoke its licence, and the regulator at that time satisfied itself with a record fine. Now, it's worth pointing out that you can still look at RT online. Ofcom's ban only affects its TV output. It doesn't have any say over what it puts out online, and it's worth pointing out also to that extent that RT actually probably has more viewers online than it does on television, so people still can watch it, and of course its social media feeds are still up and running as well.
Ian, thank you. You're watching Sky News today. Coming up, as the number of Ukrainian refugees crossing into Poland passes the 2 million mark, we'll be looking at the difficulties in safeguarding the most vulnerable.
Big stories don't always come from big cities. I'm Lisa Dowd and I'm Sky's Midlands correspondent, and this is where I grew up. We can reveal that the driver who hit Harry Dunn is 42-year-old Anne Sakoulas.
Just met the president and we never thought we'd get this far.
This is what they're up against. The wind is the really big problem. It is back-breaking work and the smoke is thick. It's been working well. Water levels are dropping, but no one knows what impact further rain will have. What would you do if this place wasn't open? We take you to the heart of the stories that shape our world.
It's really scary. We're terrified.
In this community, I'm told that everybody knows someone affected by COVID.
Hopefully this will be the last wave.
I never knew they would make it. It's amazing.
Change seems tantalisingly close in this corner of the UK. Wales was the first to introduce the plastic bag charge. This is my patch, my specialism. It's also my home.
Welcome back. Almost 3.2 million people have now fled Ukraine since the start of the Russian invasion 3 weeks ago. Well, this morning, the Polish border guard said that more than 2 million of them have crossed into Poland. But the growing refugee crisis has prompted concerns about the safeguarding of the most vulnerable people trying to escape the war. Lisa Holland reports now from the Polish capital, Warsaw.
The refugees left Ukraine in freezing conditions. Some now need different clothes, others have nothing. Yulia says guards on the train made them leave their suitcases behind so more people could be crammed into the carriages. I really need these shoes, she says. I wouldn't have to take charity if it wasn't for the war.
There's no shortage of things being donated, but 3 weeks after Russia's invasion, and it's not just clothes, toys and food that the refugees need.
There's an accommodation crisis. The Poles are even planning to turn a former complex used by Russian diplomats into emergency housing. Prices are rising, and Terry from Essex is worried about where his family will stay. His workmates had a whip round to help fund his flight so he could be reunited with his Ukrainian wife and son, now waiting for their travel documents.
If I don't get it by Friday, then I'm strapped for cash for hotels. I have got people I can call in the UK and they can try to get some money, emergency money together, but I'm not that type of person.
Sisters Anastasia and Lubov are moving hotels after the price of theirs doubled overnight. As a child, Lubov fled from Crimea when it was invaded by the Russians. Now just turned 18, her sister has come from London to help her get a visa and is worried about her safety.
That's why I'm staying here with her right now, because there is no way I'm leaving my 18-year-old sister in Warsaw for hell knows how long.
3 million refugees have crossed into neighbouring countries, but there are reports of women and children going missing, prompting calls for more to be done to safeguard them.
Who do you now trust? Who's actually offering you the right service? Who's actually offering you the right support? It is such a worry. It's great that people have opened up their homes around the world, but how do we know that those are really in really good intentions?
This is the fastest growing flow of refugees in Europe since World War II. Now the authorities are trying to keep up with the goodwill and support desperately needed by so many driven from their homes. Lisa Holland, Sky News, Warsaw.
Bringing you some breaking news that's just coming into us now. The Crown Prosecution Service has said that Sarah Everard's killer, Wayne Couzens, has been charged with 4 counts of indecent exposure, which allegedly took place between January and February last year. Now, if you remember, Couzens was, of course, a serving police officer at the time, and he raped and murdered Sarah Everard in March of last year. So that's the latest that's just coming into us now. You're watching Sky News. Stay with us. Coming up when sports and politics collide, Beth Rigby interviews Gary Neville.
PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories. Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
yourself website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes.
How do you get the energy to do
I've been
that?
told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of digging the hole of darkness. So what did that? Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from Sendwave. Sendwave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With Sendwave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, Sendwave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use Sendwave? Sendwave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about Sendwave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Body is your ma. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And I sabi you know, just have fun.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Though your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile. If you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and the Morning Show.
The coolest way to start your weekend.
Broadcasting live online.
Welcome.
car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
all around the world.
Sometimes in life, you feel like giving up. Give time all you can.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you are or wherever you might be on planet Earth. Those of you who happen to be on other planets as well, we want to salute you all and welcome you to the Friday edition of the morning show. Today is the 18th day of March, the year 2022, and the time now is 10:39 from the heart of London. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me say good morning to my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davids, Mr. Olayomi Kwaiki, Kojo D, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man, Felix all the way in Aberdeen, to the one and only Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin, and to our able producer, Mr. Francis Guy. Wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to the program. A special good morning goes all the way to Cyprus, where we have our own HRH Linda Palian. And I say good morning to you. What about those of you listening to us across the globe, from the US to Europe to South America, Canada area, to the Caribbean area as well, to Asia, to Australia, to Africa, especially those of you in Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, and Libya. I salute each and every one of you. But my special good morning greetings goes all the way to Moscow, where we have Mr. Tassino. I hope you are doing very, very well as well. But across the globe, welcome to the show. I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
So, if it's the first time of tuning in on Fridays to listen to us, this is how the program goes on Fridays. I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update as well. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, known as Global Trotting. So, if it's making the headlines from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar, I promise you I'm going to bring your way. And then we continue from there, looking at other stories making the rounds with updates from Nigeria. I'll be having Mr. Olayomi Kwaiki joining in on the program to bring you that update. From thence, we continue to look at other stories from all other parts of the world. Then at 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. The discussion goes on till 12:30, when we bring the first part of the program, the curtains down for the first part of the program. And we're having our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, joining in to bring you the money hour. In these challenging times, how do you survive? How do you go on? Well, he'll be joining us. And then we'll continue from there. Exactement. At 1 o'clock, the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. So in a gist, that is what's going to be happening. So, do me a massive favor. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. But once again, welcome to the show. Playing in the background, something from the Battle Revival Choir featuring Pastor Helen Yorson. It says, Hola. You know, normally I say Zola. But that means Savior, Savior for you. Something new that has come from the front. So I hope that you're enjoying the show. Okay, let's crack on. It's 10:42 now. It says you are relying solely, if you are relying solely on miracles to attain success, you are not going to maximize your success potential. If you are relying solely on miracles to attain success, you are not going to maximize your success potential. Therefore, work hard, look for the opportunities, do some work, and then rely on the miracles that you have done, the sowing, and then let God bring about the increase. Okay then, so that's my way of the quote for today. Let's move on straight to the weather front. What has the weather got in stock for us over today and over the weekend? It's going to be an interesting one. For the whole of the UK, this afternoon will be fine with long periods of sunshine. For most areas, it will be largely dry. Only the Northern Isle can expect a few isolated showers. A mild day expected as well. Tonight will be widely dried with clear skies throughout. For most areas, it will be a fairly breezy night, especially in the northwest. A chilly night for many under clear skies. But when it comes to London and the southeastern part of England, this is how the weather has got for you. And it says there's plenty of sunshine this afternoon for most of us, although a few patches of cloud may build in for some. Mild day with gentle winds. In this evening, it will turn breezy with largely clear skies. There is a chance of some mist and fog in more sheltered areas. A mild night expected as well. Now the temperature is going to be 15 degrees. The lower is going to be 5 degrees. Pollen level is going to be low. UV level is going to be low, and pollution low as well. Sunset is going to be at 18:10, and sunrise for tomorrow morning 06:09 hours. Now, what has the weather got in stock for you over the weekend? Dry conditions will continue tomorrow with sunny skies and moderate to fresh easterly breeze. Another mild day for the time of the year. Come Sunday will have a dry and sunny start, but it will cloud over in the afternoon with spells of rain moving in from the southeast. So in a gist, that's how the weather is going to be for you. And I want to say, enjoy that weather, make it while the sun shines. And thank you for joining us once again. Don't you worry, I'm going to bring you the full length of that song in a moment. But it's now time for us to take a quick commercial break and bring you the travel update. Stay tuned and don't you go away.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I will keep you navigated. I promise I'm on the Starr Radio UK travel update that comes to every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:45. So what is your travels like this morning? Well, on the underground, apart from the northern line, that is still part closure till mid-May. Piccadilly line is partly suspended. Let me tell you more about that. No service from Heathrow Terminals 1, 2, and 3 to Heathrow's Terminal 5 while they fix a ventilation unit in the Heathrow area. Things are being accepted on local buses and TFL rail. Customers trying to reach Terminal 5 should alight at Harton Cross and take the 482 or 490 bus. Good service on the rest of the line. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. That aside, any other underground line is working in good service. London Overground, TFL rail, DLR, London Tramlink, good service. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads as you keep you navigated. Now moving on straight to the river bus this morning. Apart from the Woolwich Ferry that is suspended, all the others have got good service. Now on the National Rail this morning as well, Avanti West Coast has got minor delays. That aside, Cross Country, Great Northern, Great Western Railway, Southern, Thames Link, and Transport for Wales have all got special service. Keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads as we keep you navigated. Our promise, our bond. On the final segment of the travel updates, that's the major roads in London. This is what I have for you. So, A10 has got closures, A316 closures, A4 closures, Central London Red Routes closures, A12 serious delays, and non-circular A406 serious delays there as well. And let me say it once again. Well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads. Well, the Women to Women ministry, which is to announce to all women a free admission for a program that is going to be taking place, Women's Pampering Day. The day is Saturday, that's tomorrow, the 19th of March, 2022. The time is going to be from 1 to 4 p.m. The address is Fulham United Reformed Church, 472 to 480 Fulham Palace Road, London, SW6 6HY. Okay, it's free admission. The experts who will be appearing there to do you this good, to make sure that you are pampered: Letitia for skincare, Elo Whiskey for Mary Kay Consultancy, Laide Farombi skincare, Esther Hadessa eyes, so you want your eyes sorted out. Mother and daughter creations are also going to be there. When it comes to your hair, your nails, your makeup, beauty, free gifts and much more. Make your way to that place, to the Fulham United Reformed Church tomorrow exactly at 1 p.m. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. When she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instructions with kindness. Proverbs 31 verses 25 to 26. Okay, so that is my way of announcement for you. Stay tuned, don't you go away. A quick commercial break, and then I'll bring you the Global Trotting. All right then. Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
The coolest way to start your weekend.
Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and it's the coolest way to start your weekend by listening to us on this platform. So it's now time for Global Trotting, 10:51 from the House of London, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right, now let's move on to the story that is making the rounds in other parts of the world and home here in the UK. What about that? Well, Nigeria raises 1.25 billion via Eurobond. Well, Ghana couldn't do so. Now, Putin's war. UK revokes Russian channel Archie license. Well, Nigeria is touching on all that. Triumphant Baptist Church holds Congress, and why Buhari was demarketed as religious bigot. Femi Adesina is saying. We'll be bringing you more on that. Yes. I will bring you more on that. Why that was said about the president. Illegal construction. Lagos seals off petrol station in Ajao Estate. I mean, when you look at the speed of fire gutting, filling stations, burning tankers and stuff like that, then I think it's about time that they see to that. Okay. And then, with some other stories still making the rounds from the African continent, the tough wait for families of students displaced by war in Ukraine. Where are they? Have they decided not to come back to the country, or are they stuck in there? As we know of the discrimination that has been taking place in this part of the world. Now, President Buhari apologizes to Nigerians over petrol scarcity and power outage. I'll be bringing you more on that front. Yes, and then So some of the stories making the rounds on the African continent. Bulgarian embassy demolition. Unfortunate. International relations expert is saying there has been a demolition of a part of Bulgarian embassy. Whether it's an annex or one of the buildings in Accra, Ghana. But the perpetrator is said to be somebody who is a government appointee. Now, the foreign ministry has gone on to say that stop doing it. I mean, yet they've gone on, and since 2017 now virtually the person has demolished a building there and put up a structure that is almost to the roofing point. Now we'll be looking at that. Who is doing all this? Why? Starr Radio UK. And then Accra Psychiatric Hospital, not for sale. Are you a free year? Saying minority shoots down approval of another 20 million loan facility. Well, stalemate for Ghana. The government of Ghana. Well. Now another story making the rounds there. Very shameless. The Fimakbo tackles Gabi over calls for debate on the economy. Well, there is a stalemate in Parliament. So, is there a special envoy in the government's the presidential office or what? I don't know. But some people call him de facto prime minister. Yes, Gabi Ochiridako, who is saying that look, I think there is a need for us now to brainstorm, as my lecturer would have said. He said brainstorming, so it is about time for them to brainstorm. What do you think about that? Now, why has Dr. Yao Edu Ampoma not been arrested? That's why Blakwa is wondering. We'll be looking at that. Who is Dr. Yao Edu Ampoma? He is the one who has gone to demolish the Bulgarian embassy. We'll be looking into all those stories. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, in other parts of the world as well, Russia strikes aircraft facility near western city of Lviv. Missiles hit an aircraft maintenance plant near the city, which has been used as a safe haven for people fleeing the fighting. Those are some of the stories coming from Europe. When it comes to the Russian war, Putin lays out his demands in Turkish phone call. Russia's president revealed his peace conditions in a phone call. He spoke to someone who listened in. Well, so would that bring about any change? Will the Ukrainians also take it on board and say, okay, if that's what you want, we'll give you that, then you stop all this bombing? And as some people are saying, well, some of the experts are looking at it that well, whenever he says that, okay, truce, peace, corridor, I mean, something is a peace talk or something like that, well, he used that to regroup and then continues with the barrage of attack against Ukrainians. Now, what do you think about all that? We'll be looking more into that. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. 4 minutes to the top of the hour at a time. Now, in the UK itself, some breaking story that has come true. Sarah Everett's killer, Wayne Cousins, have been charged with 4 counts of indecent exposure. Sarah Everett's killer, Wayne Cousins, has been charged with 4 counts of indecent exposure. The alleged offenses are said to have taken place between January and February 2021, when Cousins was a 7 Metropolitan Police officer. The alleged offenses predate the murder of Miss Everett, who was killed in March 2021. The Crown Prosecution Services (SPS) has said he will appear at Westminster Magistrates Court on the 13th of April. Cousins, 49, is serving a whole life tariff for the abduction, rape, and murder of Miss Everett. So coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, the sad story yesterday when we were on air, I didn't announce this, that well, the P&O ferries were told to, I mean, still, is it park? I don't know. What do ships do? Okay, at the various spots. So they were in there. But what happened was, during the course of the afternoon or the day, well, there was a Zoom announcement sacking 800 workers. Well, staff unions and MPs expressed outrage, and travelers are told to expect disruption. So, P&O has sacked them. They said, well, you know what? Every year we're losing 100 million pounds, 100 million pounds continuously. And therefore, we decided this time around that, well, we want to sack 800, and then we will be getting agency staff to come and do the job, which I think that they are looking at it, that it costs them less. But you know, it is something. That's why I like listening to Linda, because she will tell you that, look, the time is coming where you have to look at retraining, because when it gets to a point where we have machines doing the job that human beings are going to be doing, then it is just about a matter of time when they will say that, oh, too many of you, and therefore we have to lay some people off. And what do we do under such circumstances? Well, somebody will say, so do you think that the company should continue to be hemorrhaging 100 million every year? Somebody will say, well, what about the workers who have been working all this while? Do you think that their rights also have to be thrown out of the window? Well, we'll be looking at that in a moment, but it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. And still in the UK as well, Russia Today UK license have been revoked by Ofcom. Russia state-backed news channel RT license to broadcast in UK is revoked with immediate effect, as some of the stories coming in as well. Now, COVID travel restrictions have ended in the UK. Passenger locator forms and tests are for unvaccinated arrivals are no longer required. Freedom. Okay, but be careful. Now they have a Delta, what do you call it? There's a new a variant, the variant of Delta and Omicron. Okay, a mixture of that. And they said that's brought about a spike in infection rates. So please, be warned. This morning I had to go to one of the shops. I got out of the car, I put on my mask, and I went in there. I don't care what people are looking at or whether. No. I got on with it. I know it protects other people, and it gives me a bit of protection there as well. I use my sanitizer and stuff like that. So be wise in your ways, so that a vulnerable person's life will not be taken. Okay then, so it is Starr Radio UK. It's gone 11 o'clock. I'm going to bring you the rest of that music, and when we come back, we'll be looking into the details of all the stories that is making the rounds this morning. Stay tuned. Don't you go away. Hola or Zola or Savior by the Better Revival Choir featuring Pastor Helen Yosin. Enjoy. That's a new one, a latest one.
The coolest way to start your weekend.
Turn it on. Turn it up. This is Starr Radio UK.
So lift up your eyes to the hills.
guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Yes, welcome back to the program. Those of you on the YouTube, Facebook, or the social media platform watching us on the video link, you'll find out that, well, the Women to Women flyer is still on. Yeah, inviting all women. It's free admission. Pastor Annette Hercules is inviting every one of you to a Women's Pampering Day. That's tomorrow, the 19th of March 2022, from 1 to 4 p.m. Now, the address is Fulham United Reformed Church, 472480 Fulham, Palace Road, London, SW6 6HY. Some of the experts will be there to undertake this pampering sessions. Letitia for skincare, Elo Whiskey from Mary Kay Consultant, Laide Farombi, who is also skincare, Esther Hadessa's Eyes, and we have mother and daughter creations as well. Make sure you make a date with them. To contact for any contact or any further information, contact them on 078 08 807 151 078 08 807-151. Make sure you make a date with them. The quote is, she is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear or of the future. When she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instructions with kindness. Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 25 to 26. So all the women, make your way there. I think I will rope in. Maybe I need to get some hair extensions. What about that? But well, from the women to women. Okay, let me take this opportunity to say good morning to Pastor Annette Hercules. I hope you are doing very, very well, Pastor Annette. All right then, Starr Radio UK. Now let's move on to some of the updates from Niger area. Just bear with me. Let me get this information for you, please. Just bear with me.
Sometimes in life you feel like giving up. Give time all you can. You don't know what to do. You cry. You weep. There is no answer. You pray night and day, hoping for change to come. So lift up your eyes to the hill. Your help is on the way. Yeah, yeah. Hold up my friend, be strong. He'll come and say good.
Okay, welcome back to the program. My apologies for that. I needed to respond to some information that was sent to the studio, which I have done. And I'm happy to say it is now time for us to look at what is happening in Nigeria with updates from Nigeria. A quarter past 11, the time, as I said, Mr. Olayomi has been caught up somewhere, and therefore he's not been able to join you. But wherever you are, don't you go away. Now, some of the stories making the round this morning. A presidential aide, Femi Adesina, has explained why the president, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, is demarcated as a religious bigot in his first 3 attempts to become the country's president. The move, he said, had been the strategy of those who had a dark past and was afraid the president's uprightness and incorruptibility may affect their chances going forward. Now, according to him, it was a narrative that deliberately concocted and conjured by those who were afraid of the probity and integrity he could bring into public office. Now, Desina, who is a special advisor on media and publicity to Buhari, stated that in his article titled "Buhari, Osibanjo and the Bigotry Question," shared on his Facebook page on Thursday. He added that after the bigotry narrative had given way after the president realized in his dreams in 2015 and chose his vice president Yemi Osibanjo, a redeemed pastor, as a second in command. President Muhammadu Buhari is a man that had been serially demarcated, flagellated, and excoriated as a religious bigot. My apologies there. It was a narrative deliberately concocted and conjured by those who were afraid of the probity and integrity he could bring into public office. They tarred him with a brush of bigotry, which hindered the man from attaining the presidency for a long while. But every lie has an expiry date, and a time came when the public no longer bought the Jejun argument. Pro-Buhari forces fought back vigorously. One of them was eminent virologist Professor Tam David West. God rest his soul. He wrote a book with the title 16 Sins of Muhammadu Buhari, in which he debunked the lies being told against the former president, military head of state. One of them was the allegation of being a religious bigot. Well, a good one there. Nice article, nice piece to wipe or to substantiate the goodness of the president. But the question is, since he took office, how many people has he actually, or can he say that where the law has dealt with them when it came to they nicking state funds or being corrupt and stuff like that? Well, if he is not corrupt but has sat for corruption to take place under his watchful eyes, then what? Okay, I rest my case. But only time will tell. Only time will tell when it comes to that. Okay. Now moving on to some other story that is making the rounds still in Nigeria, bringing you updates from Nigeria. We have in a story coming in saying that the president, Muhammadu Buhari, has apologized to Nigerians for the fuel shortage and everything that seemed to be going on there. I'll be bringing you more on that front in a moment. But now, let's move on straight to one other story that is making the rounds. And it says that illegal construction, Lagos seals of petrol station in Ajao Estate. Now it says the move to stop further construction of the site was important to forestall a disaster. The Lagos state government has issued a stop work order in a petrol station being constructed illegally at number 1 Robinson Gbagi Benson Anoro Street, Ajao Estate, Isolo. This is part of the ongoing enforcement exercise being carried out by the government to rid the state of illegal and non-conforming structures. Now, this was made known by the Lagos State Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Dr. Idris Salaku, who said the move to stop further construction on the site was important to forestall a disaster. Now, so other filling stations that are situated in communities, in residential areas. Now, what is being done to them? What is being done to them? What can be done about them? Well, we'll be telling you more about that as the day unfolds. Salaku said the facility is being erected without any approval or stage by stage inspection by the Lagos State Building Control Agency to ascertain the quality of materials used. As a matter of fact, we cannot even be talking about checking for compliance against approval that was never given in the first place. And this is dangerous for the built environment, as the safety and structural integrity of the facility can't be guaranteed. Now, the commissioner said that the unapproved construction has become a growing concern for residents of the area who have petitioned the government against its continuation. Now, while reiterating the importance of building rights, Salaku emphasized that no construction should be carried out in Lagos State without planning permits and stage certification by the authorities. He said the owner-developer of the petrol station will be brought to book for ignoring several warnings issued against the construction by the LASBCA, which served a contravention notice and stop work order in the builder. On the builder, my apologies. Now, Salako urged all residents, particularly actors in the build environment, to build right and team up with the state in her efforts to combat building collapse and vouchsafe a livable and sustainable physical environment as enshrined in the themes agenda of the Lagos State government. That's a good one. That's a good one, though. But how many illegal structures have been constructed? How many of them did they put serve them with a stop work, and the people have gone on because they managed to bribe some individuals who are working in this department, and therefore went on to build it, and now nothing can be done about it. And we have issues where we have building collapsing. We have issues like that going on in that part of the world. But what I think is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, the IG has charged personnel to sustain fight against violent crimes. Now, what is all that about? Well, the Inspector General of Police, Osman Alkali Baba, yesterday charged police operatives across the country to sustain the tempo in the fight to curb violent crimes in the country. The IG, who spoke in Abuja, lauded the results of efforts in place to roll back the negative trend of crimes, commended the Force Intelligence Bureau Special Tactical Squad for the recent arrest of 30 suspects for complicity in the crimes of kidnapping, armed robbery, arms smuggling, unlawful possession of prohibited firearms, car theft, rape, receiving stolen goods, among others. The Force Intelligence Bureau recovered a total of 8 foreign and 7 locally made AK-47 rifles, 8 revolver rifles, 2,200 rounds of live ammunition of different caliber, 14 AK-47 magazines, 3 stolen cars, 10 fake number plates, and a cash sum of 1.8 million naira from the suspect during follow-up investigations. Now, notable among the cases is the arrest of one Ahmed Yanuza, aka Yellow Ashana, a 36-year-old leader of a vicious bandit group that terrorized communities and road users along the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway. The suspect, who was on the run following a police operation that led to the death of a member of the syndicate, one Yellow Magaji, aka Arushe, was arrested during a sting operation by the police operatives at the FIBSTS. The suspect confessed that he led the syndicate that carried out several kidnapping operations on the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway and launched 3 different attacks on Kadara community in Kaduna State, where scores were killed. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Updates from Nigeria. Now, ex-governor Willie Obiano, still in EFCC custody, moved to Abuja. Okay. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has denied reports that former governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, has been released. It was widely reported on Friday morning that Obiano, who was arrested on the anti-graft agency last night, was released after interrogation. However, Politics says that discovered that this is to be false. Speaking to some correspondents on Friday morning, the EFCC head of media and publicity, Wilson Owujaren, disclosed that the former governor was still in their custody. He has not been released. It's fake news. Now he is in our custody and is being moved to Abuja, he disclosed. Obiano was arrested a few hours after handing over to the new state governor, Charles Solodu, who was intercepted at the Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos on his way to Texas, USA, around 8:30 p.m. on Thursday. Now, why did they stop him? And why is he under investigation? Well, he handed over and wanted to fly out, and boom, he was stopped. Well, we'll be looking into that, following that story. Let me put it that way. Now, when it comes to the Soludu's inauguration yesterday, there was some banter that took place. Now, we've heard what happened at Professor Soludu's inauguration ceremony yesterday. We cannot remain silent and pretend it's okay to engage in a behavior that is unspeakable and intolerable in any civilized society, and most of all, something that is complete anathema to Igbo culture. Now, it goes on further to say, I do not know the background to the deplorable incident that nearly marred the Soludu's inauguration, and I don't think the background matters. What matters is that Mrs. Obiano decided to affirm her position as the preeminent woman in the state by leaving her seat to walk to where Bianca Ojukwu was seated and poured insults on her. And Bianca replied by slapping her sister, Mrs. Obiano. That was not okay. Viewing this on video, it is unbelievable that these two sisters could do this with the eyes of the world pasted on Anambra. Was it totally unavoidable? Where or was there no better way of resolving this? From all over the world, Nigerian women are filled with shame. That vicious slur on Bianca's character was a slur on all hardworking women. That loud slap was a slap in the face of Anambra State. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Updates from Nigeria, 11:28 the time. Now, El-Rufai reportedly threatens revolt over Buni's leadership is one of the stories making the rounds there as well. The leadership crisis bedeviling the ruling All Progressive Congress seems to be far from over, despite assurance by stakeholders of a unified front. In the aftermath of internal wrangling within the caretaker extraordinary convention planning committee, the Kaduna State Governor Malam Nasir El-Rufai on Thursday criticized the charade threatening to divide the party ahead of its 26th national convention. And furthermore, the governor grimly predicted an eventual disintegration of the party if the ongoing crisis lingers. In a WhatsApp message allegedly sent to other APC governors, El-Rufai enumerated the list of vices being displayed by members of the party as a reason for his discontent. The message read as shared, Your Excellencies, unity is impossible to attain when leaders that are in office, because we consented to it, are consistently erratic, capricious, corrupt, and deceitful. It goes on further to say, loyalty begets loyalty, deception begets mistrust, betrayal begets revolt, ineptness, greed, and selfishness threaten to destroy what has been built over nearly a decade by those who didn't even know how the party was put together. Let's restate that I am done with the charade unless concrete, honest, and transparent steps are taken to implement our agreed plans and the leadership we trusted. Thank you, Nasir El-Rufai. Well, the banter continues. We hope to see what happens over the weekend. We know the president will be back in town, hopefully over the weekend. But we'll see what happens on that front. Will he be able to sort out whatever is happening there? I want to know. I hope that you also want to know. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, let's move on to one other story, the final one from Nigeria, and then we'll bring the updates to a close. Now, EFCC naps Nigeria church founder wanted by FBI for wire fraud. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arrested Kelechi Vitalis Anozi. Anozi is the founder of Praying City Church located in Owerri, the capital of Imo. The suspect is on the watch list of the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation. In a statement on Thursday by the EFCC spokesman, Wilson Owajaren Anozi was nabbed following the intelligence linking him to alleged conspiracy, wire fraud, and money laundering. Anozi is said to have worked with four accomplices: Valentine Ero, Ekin Ikechukwu, alias Ogedi Power, Bright Ozubuike, alias Bright Boa Azobuike. Okay, interesting nicknames there. And Efenyi Jr. They are alleged to have defrauded one FF who lives in Illinois the sum of $135,000 and another $47,000. The statement said. Okay, we don't know what is going to be happening on that front, but hopefully, putting fingers crossed, they will come. The truth will be found out. But some people who have been also caught in that is cocaine bus Parade Abakairi arrested police officers are saying. And then 2023 presidency, PDP rejected article considering Tambuwal. Those are some of the stories making the rounds there. But article fought a good fight in the 2019 election. So can't he do better or what? Okay, and Kenya ambassador to Nigeria, Wilfred Machange, slums and dies in Abuja is some of the stories making the rounds. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. So that's why we bring the update from Nigeria to a close for today. We'll take a quick break and we come back and we'll look at some of the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Stay tuned and don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Your favorite Afro-Caribbean radio station in the UK.
Okay, welcome back to the program. It is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Yes, wherever you are, thank you very much for tuning in to listen to us. It is the Friday edition of the morning show. Of course, we do our best to make it lively as much as we can. And then this afternoon, exactly at 12:30, our money man will be joining. And it is what? In these tough times, in these challenging times. What we've been looking at? Yes, budget. For your home, for your family. How do you cut down on going to buy all this what does even Frank call it, designer, when equally there are other goods that are equally even good. I was saying last week that I went to one of the shops. I don't want to publicize any shop, but I went to one of the shops and then I bought I was told to go and buy margarine or butter, margarine. Okay, then I went there and I was the one that I was looking for. I thought, this shop, no, I can't get it there. But I saw it the same design. I saw but different name on it, and I thought, nah. I just let. So I got home and then Mrs. said, why didn't you buy it? I said, well, and the one that I saw has not got the same name like the one that we normally or usually use. It's a bit cheaper than that one as well. So I thought it wasn't good. He said, no, that's good. At times I've been using that. And I said, I don't see any difference in the taste. It tastes better. So you want to know more about that? In this difficult and challenging times, where yesterday the interest rate went up from 0.5 to 0.75, well, you have to think things through. So we'll be looking at your budget, your own family budget, how to come up with a budget so that you can live within your means. We know it's a challenging time, and then we will not go over the top to be crying or making, especially when only yesterday 800 people have been laid off via Zoom. So that you're just there and there's a Zoom, a video call comes through and boom, laid off. Wow. Hard times are ahead. But you know what? If you don't plan, you actually fail. So if you fail to plan, they say you plan to fail. So make sure you make a date with Mr. Tabiri exactly at 12:30 on your family budget, or yes. But now I've got with me Mr. Frank Davis in the house as well. And Frank, good morning to you.
Archie, good morning to our listeners, our viewers, wherever they might be. Olayomi, wherever you are. We know what you're doing, but good morning, Sam. Yeah, Francis Guy, good morning. Fellas, good morning. Kofi Ale, good morning. And all Untumi and all who basically listen to him.
Yes, all the Sandras. If you are not a Sandra, we are greeting you, whether you are a man or a woman. Okay, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Great. Okay, now let's crack on straight to some of the stories making the rounds this morning, but starting from Africa, because 12:30 will be crossing over. So I wanted to touch on a couple of stories that I have come across, and this is in relation with the Bulgarian embassy demolition issue that has gone on. A few people, because when we listen to news like this, we are here, you are living in the diaspora. The diaspora can be Togo, it can be anywhere outside the country, and you have a plot of land. Okay, you might have a plot of land that you are developing. People think that because we live here, we got money is just dropping from everywhere, and then we pick it and just go and do that. Okay, so at times developing a property or a land takes a bit of time. So maybe you are doing it gradual. Then tomorrow you go down there, or one of the family calls you that, hey, we've seen that somebody has come there, demolish everything that you have put up, and then have put something on, and then you maybe instruct your lawyers or people to go and say that stop it, and the person just say forget it and going on. Why? Because maybe the person has got some connection with government. That seems to be exactly what is going on, but this time round with an international ramification that could possibly take place.
Are you shocked? Are you surprised? I will continue to ask.
No, when it comes to international thing like that, I think that it shouldn't be.
But it happened to Nigeria embassy. What happened?
That one they are putting it back up. Government is putting it back up.
Government is putting it back, but why did it happen in the first place? Has anyone been punished? Did you see the government coming to say these were the lapses? These were the mistakes that were made, and therefore we are correcting it that you never happen again. Did you see someone, the land commission, being fired? Did you see the minister of lands coming to say that it was this person who caused? Because at the end of the day, whether we're building it back or not, it is the taxpayers' money that is being expended by the government to build that embassy back. So it is not, that we've taken corrective measures. What are the preventative measures that we took after that of Nigerian embassy happened? And how did we even get there in the first place? I don't think that would have happened in this country
at all.
And by now, Parliament wouldn't have been calling for a full-scale investigation.
Sure.
Because, Archie, for military or the police to even escort the bulldozer to that Nigerian building, someone somewhere in the embassy, someone somewhere within the government or within the police or the military must know. So that person should be called to answer who gave you the authority or who on whose instructions
the military
were you
agencies
acting, right? Why can't we zero down on people to be able to punish them, to be able to say, because the cost of building that place should be borne by those people who took that decision. Someone shouldn't use their power, someone shouldn't use their closeness to and proximity to the corridors of power to cause unnecessary, to do unnecessary damage for the taxpayer to be paying for it. That is wrong. Look, this Bulgarian embassy issue, Archie, the person we are talking about now is a government appointee.
Yes.
And no one will tell me that he is not, or they are not aware of this.
No, how can he be aware?
As we speak now, you will recall 2 years ago, there was Kotobabi School Park. Where the children play. Were told that it has been sold off to someone to build properties. Just last week, what they call rich cluster of schools sold off to someone, and a cluster of school with over 3,000 people. We are being told that fence walls are now being constructed through the school plan. And we know those schools came into being in 1960s, and in those days, what do you call it? Ghana people, for instance, were giving lands out for public good.
Yeah.
So if you're telling me that school land, every school land now is owned by the government
and therefore
given to them for public good, not to be privatized. There are lands like airport land, university lands that you can talk of. The law also says that if we do not have use of those lands again, let's give it back to the original owners. But we decide to use our power to sell those lands to our cronies to develop properties that we know. Hostels. You know why the hostels? Because it's close to Accra Polytechnic. And they will be making a lot of money from it. So they are using the power given them to take hold of your economic future. That each time you must be a rent payer while they act as slave masters. That's exactly what we see. Airport lands have been sold off as we speak. Someone was arrested because they claim he said the first lady has actually misappropriated some land or a foundation being built to them. Up to date, no one has told her that the development that is going on that airport land, who owns that development? Nobody. They've not been able to tell us. But that's also a government land.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? Actually, this is politics being played. I was suggesting to someone the other time, was it yesterday, when they told me that airport, even the Kotoka airport is being put for sale.
Now they are selling it.
They are trying to put Kotoka airport for sale. I told them, look, in fact, it was Hassan Yariga that were having a discussion on one. I said, look, if I were NDC member or if I were an NDC leader, I'll sound a warning to whoever is going to buy, and they should be able to say, look, whoever there buys government lands, whoever there buys certain properties, when we can, we'll renationalize them. That
but
alone,
will be looking at the legality, whether they bought it legally, and they have documents to prove.
Archie, if the law says that, you also have to do a bit of due diligence.
Of course.
So if the law says that government lands acquired or given to government by landowners, if not being used for the original purpose for which it has been acquired, must be returned back to the. And if I, as a land commissioner, go to doctor documents, or because I use my political connection, we know most of these documents are fake. Adopted. Are you getting me? To sell you land, and because you have political power, you can command. I mean, what they call it, land guards. You can call you can make a phone call, and
security agencies
what they call Brian Chiapon, and others can deploy. I mean, what they call it, mad police, mad dogs to come and protect you. Actually, I think when power change hands, we should collect those land and save as a lesson. Atamos did some of it. When Atamos took power in 2009, the original Gulf House, all those land have been sold, including the former Chief Justice who bought part of those land. As we speak now, when the foreign office got bent in Accra, go and see the new foreign office that was built on those lands. If we have been deprived the country of those lands, as we speak now, Institute of Journalism, there's a new school there. Around those, and those were land that Kufu and others distributed like pancakes to their friends. As it for me, I think the issue of a Bulgarian body is sad. It's a sad one. That even no one, the person would. I mean, what were they thinking?
When they demolished, I mean, they said the rental agreement that they had was up to I think 2023. They still have about 10. So they had some.
No, they said they even have about 10 years on it more.
Oh, some more information on that.
Even if they have 10 years, right? Even if they have 10 years on it, let's say if it's a day.
I
mean,
It has to elapse first before you can come and do something. And even that, you have to go back to them.
You have to even go to court.
Yeah.
To evict, for the court to grant you an eviction order. And I do not think that the court will grant Bulgarian embassy eviction order and that issue would have been solved.
Yeah.
Now, the deputy minister is saying that the president ordered him to stop the demolition.
Yeah.
So it means that president and the government has power to be able to cause certain actions to take place, right? Were they sleeping? Did they just wake up? Or someone that gave them Adongo beaters?
Maybe they gave them Adongo so they were chilling.
Actually, it's sad. Because we have a responsibility as a country.
Yeah.
To be able to safeguard the properties of
foreign
entities.
Yeah, especially embassies in our part of the world.
We have a sacred responsibility under Vienna Convention to be able to protect these people, right? But here we are entering. It's a declaration of war.
Yeah.
What they've done is nothing different from what Russia has done.
Yeah.
Because you have invaded their territory.
Bulldoze their buildings
down, which is a declaration of war.
If they go and you're small, they say embassy, they break it down as well. How would they?
Actually, I was sad, but I wasn't surprised. Because when it happened to the Nigerian embassy, we use our good relationship with our brothers trying to solve it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But we did not do what was needful to be able to punish, make sure such things do not repeat and reoccur. Here we are now, we've crossed the Atlantic with our madness. That's it.
It's sad. It's sad because for them to say stop work, I mean, they filed that stop work. And then they said the daughter of Dr. Yaedu Ampoma came there, ripped the whole notice off, and they still continue. And
because
they are
of power. Because of power.
Like, what power has this man got on the government itself or the president itself?
A government appointee.
To do that?
He's a government appointee. So, I mean, and for you to be appointed, you must be dining with Akufo-Addo. So if you do, you can do everything. You can commit murder and go scot-free with power. That's what they do. And African, it's not here that you organize a party, chew a bit of kebab with a beer, a bottle in your hands. I mean, we are on your neck because you made the law, you did not obey it.
Yeah.
Are you getting me?
Yeah.
But Ghana and most African countries, once you are in power, you are above the law. I mean, the president himself is above the law. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, the tax laws, he doesn't obey them. He doesn't pay tax. And that a mistake of the constitution to even tell that. Because once you do not, I mean, pay tax, I mean, income tax you don't pay, you don't respect the law, you're above the law. So basically, once they are close to power, they think they're above the law.
Now that makes me sad because this is where some people will say that democracy for what? Because the way we are dealing with it, I mean, it's like some people are more, I mean, important than others. And so if you see somebody who is vulnerable, I mean, who has not got to anybody, the best thing for the person is to take a gun or do something. And so I don't blame those bandits in Nigeria who at times go doing all those stuff because people there are not doing the right thing.
Our politicians operate as our colonial masters.
Yeah.
The West is always better than every other human being on earth. And therefore, when you are British, when you are from America, when you are French, you are better than a Syrian.
Yeah.
You are better than someone from Eritrea.
Yeah.
So that's the mentality democracy I mean has actually injected into our minds. Our politicians want to live like the West. They see themselves as the elites of the society. And therefore they look down upon those who are not in power. And this is like it's not by MPP alone. When they get to NDC, we see them. We also see them doing that. What power did Koku Anyido had to be able to fire someone? Say that I fire you. A problem happened. You did not know. You did not investigate on radio. You are announcing what they call a termination appointment with someone. Are you get me? Just because you think you are a communication director of a president, it can't happen anywhere. It can't happen anywhere. But actually, that is a bit of the madness that democracy brings us.
And that's why when they don't take care of such things, you see, those who have been suppressed. Listen, you can suppress people to some extent. It gets to a point that they say we're not going to take it any longer, and they're going to come back to fight for their lives. And when people do that, and there are uprising and stuff like that, that takes place. We say that, and they say, "Hey, you are calling for coup or something of the sort," because even that soldier You see, I say it all the time. I'm not calling for soldiers to do anything, but that soldier is also related to that person who is living in that shanty area, who is, virtually being stifled with everything, and that they just need to survive. And therefore, when they also get angry, it's like, I need to do something to save them. And then take action.
I don't know. It's because, and again, you go back to the issue of, whether institutions should work or we want to do personality cult. Most often our politics and our governance revolve around personality cults. I am not ruling out the importance of social capital. It's very important. I know how social capital works, and it should work, and it's part of the reason. But you see, to the extent that we abuse the system because of our connections, to that we speak, whether rightly or wrongly, we hear people's assets being confiscated just because pictures of them sitting with someone has popped up. We do not have any hard evidence to say that they've done anything wrong. Should we also say that once Kofi Ali is made a president, anyone who has a picture of Akufo-Addo, the assets should be confiscated? Are you getting me? But you see, if Kofi Ali becomes a president and let's say martial law of that kind happens, you understand, because you look at how people who are connected to the seat of power are using that leverage to be able to do things wrong, amass wealth, steal, kill, and deceive. That's basically what they are doing. Are you getting me? That's basically what they are doing. So should they be should someone come to power now? It's okay. All those who were associated with A, B, C, D appear. We want you to assemble yourself in stadium. By 3 o'clock, if you do appear, we are coming after you.
Then they will know. Report at Gwenja Barracks. Then they will know. It is sad. It makes me afraid. You see, and when people see these telltale signs and say that, look, these are the things, because when people see that they are being stamped upon, they don't have a voice. But we are living in this dispensation where we think that, everybody's got a voice. But in actual fact, the voice is only for a handful of people.
That is it.
It gets to a point that things will not continue the same way.
We see democracy in our part of the world. Not that we see democracy to a large extent has been used as a manipulative tool. It's a tool that we use to manipulate the system. We use to commit crime and say, okay, we practicing democracy. Someone killing you, they say, okay, the law has allowed me to kill you. Someone stealing from you, so the law has allowed me, you wait, you can go to court. Someone stealing from you, they tell you the law has allowed me. Are you getting it's madness sometimes. Things that in advanced democracies, the people we are trying to copy, and if we're copying, we must be able to copy correctly. And we shouldn't wait that, okay, they've practiced democracy for 300 years.
So we are waiting 300 years.
As at the time they were practicing democracy at that time, I couldn't share information.
And they didn't have any example of that.
They didn't have an example, and besides, there were no example that they look up to. I don't think even the Romans didn't even practice this type of democracy. No. They were the best Democrats. The Greek were the best Democrats. Are you getting me? These people evolved their own democracy. We want to copy them, and we're copying them upside down. What they wouldn't do over here,
we are doing.
And
the mistake that they did, instead of us to say, they did that, they made those mistakes. We
are teaching them the wrongs. You know.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. At times I wake up and ask myself, what kind of world do we even live in? But is it time for such a consensus or conference to take place? It looks like Gabi Oche, the de facto Prime Minister, is calling for something of the sort to happen. But Dafi Makpo is saying that, that is very, very shameless for Gabi to be calling for a debate, because
what
government
debate? What debate?
Because they thought that they were with the ruling from the Supreme Court, as we were talking about. for the past few days we've been talking about that, was in their favor, and therefore they could just quickly move things, and they could see that in that same judgment that came, the opposition also now got the hand to also put the knife through it, and it's causing them so much.
But actually, Gabi calling for debate. What sort of debate is he talking about?
We are in desperate situation,
so
and therefore,
who should debate? If he wants to debate, he should go to a stadium, and then let's assemble everybody over here. Okay. We thought they were doing consultation. We thought with the pastor, they sent chiefs doing consultation, doing outreach programs as if they were church.
Evangelism.
Do evangelism. We saw Council of this. We saw Foriata, who carried his Bible of economics to the north, opening new branches, and so we see as a disciple of Jesus. Are you getting? So what sort of debate? If he wants debate, he should open Accra Stadium down and say, okay, Accra Stadium can take 100,000 people. Let's assume any Ghanaian, every Ghanaian who can get access to that place, free ticket. We are coming to debate, and when we finish, everybody will vote. We all want e-levy or not, and that decision over there should be. That they cannot debate. Don't tell us you want a debate when in 2000 we wanted a debate for government to even tell us what they've done. Gabi was a champion of runaways. They actually instigated Akufo-Addo not to appear and debate the oppositions. Right? Hassan Yariga, Mahama and others were campaigning, let's debate. They said no, Akufo-Addo has done a yeoman job. We don't need any debate. The debate is out there that the Ghanaians even are debated enough, and we don't you think Ghanaians have debated this, what do you call it?
E-levy.
Actually, research that out says that only 10% of those who are using Momo today say they will continue to use Momo when they implement it. Are you getting me? So what debate? Who and who should debate?
You all have to contribute.
Look, everybody. They started this since last year. They went to the speaker. They've done everything. I mean, Archie, why is he not calling for a debate on presidential travels?
No, they don't want to touch those things. They don't want to touch that.
Right?
SUVs, how many SUVs when they are...
Why is he not calling for a debate on the... I mean, we're talking of, what do you call it? We need 6-point-something billion. The presidency of Nana Akufo-Addo has increased, budget to the presidency from 1.6 billion in 2016 to today 3.5 billion. Last year it was 2.5 billion. Do you know what they've put it today? They put it to 3.5 billion. You know what that means? It means over 50% of the projected revenue from e-levy
is going to be going there.
Is going to Akufo-Addo. And what are we told? That Akufo-Addo presidency can hire a private jet to bring someone from just to come and cast a vote.
120,000.
Can give 50,000 Ghana to someone to import a coffin. A coffin.
Oh wow! Is that what that 50,000 was used for?
A coffin for their father's burial, where they were carpenters in Ghana who could have got benefited. Wow. Because that part of the money, right? Yeah. Because the chief of staff is not a bank. He's not a snake to be vomiting money. You're not a dwarf to be. Vomiting the money that they swallow from Nigeria. If that's Nigeria money, no, it doesn't happen. So it's part of that allocation to the presidency that is being spent that way. While were we told when they questioned the defense minister and interior minister about and the national security minister about how much it costs? What did he say?
Security is a security.
So but it's not a security to tell us to collect money from us. It's not. Padlocks in our pocket, we are breaking it with assault blade to pickpocket. Nobody is saying we shouldn't pay tax.
Yeah.
Actually, for me, as someone who always believe in progressive, I think progressive taxing is good.
Yeah.
Look, but in my view, this very tax, the way it's being done, the way it's being positioned, it will hurt people more. We can still collect e-levy, but not the way it's being done, in my view. And I also do believe that, look, when we need more money from people, project finance demands that when you buying and give Kofi Ali a project to basically construct, what do you call it, a 10-kilometer road, and we're going to do it in phases, probably 4 phases. The first one, 2.5 kilometers. Budget allocation has been done. Before I can spend money for the next stage,
You have to see to
probity and accountability and prudence management of resources will demand that I ensure that Kofi Ali present to me what is done with the money. You can't tell with the first phase. If I go the first phase, the gutters are not done. The gravel over there.
Give me more money to
I always saw someone using their hands to sprinkle gravel, as if they are sprinkling garri on soup or over soup. Then you want Kofi Ali can Frank, I need a check for the next one. Actually, I will be stupid to do that. And that is the same situation we find ourselves in. This is a government that has refused to account. Look, when questions went out, what type of rice will cost 25 Ghana during COVID? Now you told us you fed 20,000 people during COVID time. The country wanted to is it 20,000 or 2 million people that they fed 20 million about 2 million Ghanaians during COVID. Now provide evidence. Actually, one single mask was being, I think they were spending 100 Ghana on one mask. That is what the documents are showing.
Wow. What
people buy. Actually, when I went, there was a day I forgot my Kofi Ali returned from Ghana recently, although he was beaten by mosquitoes and I returned for Ghana. When I sometimes I went to Emmanuel Eye Clinic, and when I got, I forgot my mask. I have them, so I have to buy. You know how much I pay for it?
How much?
£1.50. Right?
One Ghana 50.
1 Ghana 50. There are places that you get it 1 Ghana. They are telling us each of those is 100 Ghana.
Wow. Profiteering.
And actually, this is crime.
Jesus.
When they are asked to account for every penny that was given to them, they refused because they got power. They even lied to us that the World Bank gave them 100 million Ghana, $100 million, when in fact it was 430 million. These are the kind of people we are dealing with. So when you are telling me that, look, you have the smartest skills or you have the ability to steal at that level, and you ask me to give you my room key, I'll go and put a new padlock on it.
you know, when people have done that, that is when they see that, like listeners, just bear with me. I'm not calling for the military to take over, because people are saying that the military take over and the same old. But when you can see people stealing, robbing you, and telling you, bring the little that you have that is left in your pocket, what do you expect people to do? They'll try to calm you down, that's not the way forward. So what is the way forward? We vote another person to come to do the same thing. Until when? Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. 6 minutes past the top of the hour. Let me announce the lines open. Maybe you are also angry as I am, and then you want to add your voice. Or maybe you think that, hey, guys, calm down. Well, we want to hear from you. It is 0208-133-2257 or 58. 0208-133-2257 or 58. If you happen to be living in the US, Canada, the Caribbean area, yes, it is 001-718-303-2737. 001-718-303-2737. You can also text or WhatsApp at 075-3966-1744. 075-3966-1744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK. Email address is info@starradiouk.com.
Actually, something is happening.
What's happening?
Anyway, look, if Yaswas, I have to verify this. If Schwarzenegger is said to have cursed Chief of Staff Mami Frema for denying that she gave her 50,000 for her late dad. You know, a lot of MPP guys have risen up.
Yeah.
That is Ifya who has not contributed that much to the party.
Yeah.
We are hungry on empty stomach, and you can give 50,000 Ghana for a coffin to Ifya. So basically, anyway, actually, let's.
She's not come out to deny the allegation. So he's always saying from a source. I want her herself to come and say, look, I never gave her anything of the sort, but she's failing to do so.
Well,
and that's why the case is now coming there.
Ghana, my homeland.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, the former finance minister Chekwe has said that Mahama will be present if invited to crunch cabinet retreat over e-levy bill. and IMF bailout. Now, because they've been, I mean, if the thing is, if we are not able to come to some sort of agreement with the opposition and the ruling government, coming to some sort of agreement, I think we're going to be in dire straits.
Actually, we are already. When I came back from Ghana, I told you something.
Yeah.
I told you by the end of March,
they wouldn't have money to pay
if nothing is done. We can't pay salaries.
Yeah.
Well, I know why I was saying, because I had privy to certain information where the speaker had already been briefed. Books had been opened.
Yeah.
But say people are not being frank enough. Actually, there are two solutions to this. The first one is either good. Someone is calling me. I'll call the person back. I'll call the person on the message. Look, Archie. The two solutions are this. One, either we go to IMF, and rightly so, because Bank of Ghana, as we speak, has a problem with foreign currency. They flooded the market in trying to control the depreciation of the CD to a point that they don't have hard currencies enough to be able to do this. Okay, so to bring the dollars in, you either have to go to IMF
for a loan,
and bring them. Now you can't go to the market, because in 2017 we used a bond to bring a bit of hard currency. 2018 we used 3 billion bond. 2019 2 billion bond. 2020 another 2 billion bond, and each time we issue those bonds we bring in more. Between 2019 and 2020 again, 2021 again, 2019, 2020, 21 again, we had COVID money that was coming. Almost 3 billion from both IMF and so it was bringing hard currency. So when it comes to trade, we had the dollars over there to be able to use. This time around, we can't borrow, right? And because we can't borrow, we can't get access to
no bond. We can't go to the bond market.
Now when you go to the bond market, you've been you've been classified as a junk country. B minus. You cannot do anything. Your prime bank, 3 of your prime banks, Bank of Ghana Commercial Bank, Eco Bank, UBA, have all been downgraded to B. Where if I go to if I go to the city square now and I present an MT 700 or an MT 79 from Ghana Commercial Bank, if the rate is 7.5, they will not even accept it, because what they're going to ask is it's not a prime. They will look at the grade and say this is not a prime bank, because they will ask you will accept document money from prime banks. And these are your main banks have not been downgraded. And they are no more classified as prime bank. So that alone is going to affect trade. So people who do defer LC, standby letters of credit, all of them
will be affected.
Actually, it's a big issue. It's not an easy issue. Look, if I am into trade and I bank with Ghana Commercial Bank, and I do defer letter. So if I'm going to buy sugar from Brazil,
letter of credit, I
issue letter of credit. But sometimes if I don't have enough money, I go to prime bank, because Brazil bank will not accept Ghana Commercial Bank letters of credit directly. So I need to use a prime bank. That's why London and others. That's how they make their money. So I need to use that, place that document with, let's say, Citibank, HSBC, Barclays Bank, and they will then give me another money, another standby letter of credit for the Brazilian bank. They charge a little bit of interest there, and that is how they make their money. Now it cannot be accepted. So if I want to
downgraded to,
so if I want to accept, because the banks will not accept it. If I want to do that business now, I need to produce wired money, and that currency is not there, because Brazil does not take CDs. I mean, if they take ruble, probably that would, but they don't. So actually, we are in difficulty. The second option will be for them to pass the e-levy and use it as a collateral, and that's not an option that we want to go to. Cocoa syndication would have helped, but cocoa syndication now is even a problem, because we are told that the other syndication they've not. Look, Becky's mom, I mean, she's a leader in one of the cocoa. They are struggling to even pay cocoa farmers.
Wow.
Archie, it's a serious issue.
This is country broke.
No broke finish.
Well, listen, it's 30 minutes past 12. We've got Kojo on the line as well. Let's go to Kojo and say good afternoon to you, Kojo.
Yeah, good afternoon, Archie. Yeah, how are you guys?
Yeah, we're doing well. And you?
I'm alright, yeah. So, how is Frank?
We are disheartened. We are disheartened.
Hey, Frank.
Yes, Kojo, go on.
I was going to borrow Frank's bank card so that when I go to Ghana.
Ghana, you can use that. Oh, okay. You're going to borrow your bank card then.
We might be joking about it, but I think these are serious issues. But going back to looking at the debate being called by Gabi, so all the town halls and village hall talks.
They were doing announcements. They were not doing any deliberation.
I thought that was supposed to be a kind of a debate. There was a whole poster that was done, that was circulated on social media and everywhere, telling people about the benefits of e-levy. So why is it that people are still not buying into the whole thing? I mean, there's a question mark around the whole implementation. I think that is why nobody is interested. At every turn, there's a new idea being fostered as to why they need to pass. And I just find it really, the word I want to use is our leaders are not being very forward-looking, if I put it that way. So they lack other? They should come up with ideas. So it appears there's a lack of ideas. So how do you draw a whole budget, right? Predicate the whole budget on raising money through e-levy when you've not been able to raise that money that hadn't even gone through Parliament? Then really you want to do a budget with that. I don't know who does that really. Let's put it this way. Actually, would you budget with an income you don't have?
How can you?
Obviously, no. You can't.
You can't.
Yeah, I'm not expecting an answer from you. It's like a rhetorical question.
Yeah, I get it.
Obviously, no. None of us will budget with monies we don't have. I mean, if I go look for a job and I haven't been given that job, will I go to town budgeting with the income I'm expecting from that job? The answer is no. So I'm not sure why the budget was written that way.
Kojo, it's like telling a girl you are taking her out, you've ordered food based on a lottery ticket. Waiting for the lotto.
Yeah. It's going to come today.
You finish eating, waiting for the announcement to be made before you pay.
That is the whole situation. And I find it a bit, they should have actually written a different budget and actually make sure this goes through the courts. So, not the court, sorry. This has been approved through Parliament, sorry. E-levy has been approved through Parliament. So in the next budget, because they always have mid-term budget. So in the mid-term budget, then you now rewrite the budget and put it in. And now they put themselves in a situation where it is so stifling. I mean, the country has no money, and going to IMF too is not a choice at the moment. I mean, today I was looking at the exchange rate. I was like, what? I was in bed and my phone beeped up, right? In the early hours of the morning. And it was the exchange rate between Ghana and the UK. And I was like, where is it going? It's almost gone to the £10 mark.
Wow.
Yeah. It's £9.60.
The last time I looked at it was 8 something.
In Ghana, if you want to buy it now, it's 10.2.
Wow.
Yeah, 10.2 if you want to buy them. If you want to buy them.
Wow.
Yeah. So that is how serious the situation is. The dollar is gone past the £8 mark. It's still galloping towards the $10 mark. It's gone past the $8 to $1 mark, and the pound is nearly, on the average, is £10. So I don't know what the debate is going to.
I mean, the aim of the debate, and this is what they do. They think they're too clever about it, and this is what politicians do: is to socialize the betting. That we all do that. Yeah. That's all that Ghanaians said this. Yeah. It was. I mean, when they
so that we didn't go to IMF. So everybody
and that's what. In fact, yesterday, Kojo, not cutting you. Yesterday, an emergency cabinet meeting was held. Yeah. And the decision was to go to IMF. That's what came.
Yeah, go on.
The decision was to go to IMF, but with the support of others, so that they can socialize the blame responsibility for campaign. Kojo, please go on.
Kojo. Hello, Kojo. Okay. I don't know whether Kojo's line is dropped or maybe he's muted himself. Kojo. Is it? Okay. He's on hold. All right. If you are listening to us, you paused the call, so maybe either you call us back or okay. Let me cut him. Then he can call. Okay.
Why don't you call him?
Okay. But it's interesting, Frank. It's very, very interesting. With
it's a serious situation. Ghana is in a serious situation. Archie, I told you this in January. We are in a serious situation. But you see, the challenge is that government is not ready to open that and be truthful. Are you getting me? And the commercial banks that they cannot borrow from because they are owing commercial banks. And if you look at the report on this Fitch coming about the downgrade of the bank is exactly because the banks, these three banks, are too exposed to government borrowing. Because they borrowed, they were those who were even collecting a lot of revenues for government, and they've lent money to government to the extent that government might not be able to pay them back.
Wow. Yeah, Kojo.
Country broke. Country broke. Really. I think what else could we say? I mean, normally they have that 3 billion injection of the euro bond. It never happened this time because the country is broke. I mean, so they couldn't do it, and there is mounting debt upon debt that I don't know how government is going to navigate through it. I mean, the debt burden has increased between when the last government left office and the current government coming into office. So it's a tough time for people who live in Ghana, really. I mean, I know people who do business with foreign exchange and all that. It's just a really, really tough time for them. Some of them, their business is not going as it used to because they can't afford. I mean, there was partly a freeze even on foreign currency usage. And did that help? I mean, I don't think it really helped. So, I mean, they're really, really, really tough issues to deal with. But I think the whole approach currently isn't working. People have been calling for a number of things to do which could really change the face of the government economic slightly, but I'm sure a lot of them are being rubbished as it stands because the challenge is wide and deep, and I pity the next government coming into power. Really, they're going to
proper mess.
Yeah. I mean, let's put it this way: if NPP continues to in the next 4 years, when they are saying 4 more years, I mean, Ghana isn't going to be there. It's probably going to be a new set of people that are going to fill those offices, and they're going to have tough time. I mean, so whether it's NDC or MPP, it's going to be a very, very tough time for them. I mean, so what are the proposals on the table? We need some wise economists. So where is the almighty Baumia? I haven't heard from him in a long time.
He doesn't want to upset Ghanaians, so he decided not to talk.
My friend, I'll send you his PhD thesis and then you can conclude. But it's serious. Actually, and you know the other thing is that this government has put politics ahead of prudent management of economy. Look, when people talked about the banks that were closed, they've not learned any lesson from that. About 800,000 people lost their jobs. Okay? They could have been contributing towards tax revenue. Actually, as we speak now, can you give me a reason, or can government ascribe to a reason why the land borders are still shut? That virtually killed economic activity of those areas. So if I go to Togo to buy, people go to from Kumasi to go and buy clothing from Togo and other things, come and sell oil from other things, Burkina Faso, tomatoes and other things. You have actually virtually collapsed those businesses. And that is purely because of politics. As we speak now, all those businesses are down. Can government justify, provide a single reason why the land borders, especially I mean Aflau border, is still shut?
Well, they're saying that they're going to be opening
I have a friend who travel from Kumasi every month to go and cut cooking oil from what they call Lome to go and distribute to the market women. They buy. The later bottle he was giving it to them 40 Ghana. They give it 50 Ghana. That's at that time. They go and sell and bring money. All those people, they are out of jobs. So why is the land border still shut? Politics. It's pure politics. That is why some of us will never have sympathy for this government. And you know the other thing? You see, when you throw a stone against the wall, some to a large extent comes back to you. When they were going for an election, the 2000 election, a lot of bad deeds went on. I can tell you, Tema TDC, there were properties that were being developed by government. You know what they did? They gave them out to their cronies, sold them out to their cronies cheap because they were afraid they might lose power. So a lot of things went wrong. Coffers were cleansed, not clean, cleansed. Because in case we don't come back to power,
so that we can use it.
Now, Jesus carry his cross, they should carry the cross.
So, no, before we run up this conversation, what is the way forward? Do you go to the IMF?
Actually, that's the shortest possible thing, because one, it will bring a bit of discipline. Because, I mean, books have been cooked for far too long. And I wouldn't subscribe to that, but but that's the only solution now for a short term, because domestically we can't raise that money, and we do not need. If we're not so import dependent, then I would have suggested probably we issue domestic bonds. But now whatever domestic bonds we use will put further pressure on hard currency. So if we have enough of the CD now, which we'll get from within the country, we're going to put pressure on the CD and the pound, because we import a lot, which will then invariably push so we need to look for a solution that will guarantee that we have the hard currency that we'll use for import. That's the only way.
Kojo, do you think that maybe if we go to the IMF and they tell government, okay, that presidency and your budget there, cut it down, sack some of the people, do you think government will head to that?
Well, I don't think any of us can actually guess that answer. Let me put it out. But I think looking at past examples, when Ghana went to the IMF, they were told really to cut coats to the body sizes that they have. instead of wearing an oversized
boga trouser.
It should cut into size. So I think the government will be asked to slim down government expenditure, to slim down everything within government. I mean, we've plainly seen it here. I mean, within the UK here, when George Osborne came into power, it wasn't an IMF bitter pill that the UK was swallowing, but the UK wanted to control the debt that they have and restructure the economy. So we saw a massive cut in the police force. They lost about 20,000 of the force officers, and the non-officers together will be about 25,000 that was lost. We saw massive layoffs of people in government department. The civil service was tamed down. The Home Office, as an example of the civil service, lost a huge chunk of its staff. It was restructured and now divided into border ports and something else, just with that restructuring experience. So, and you go to even councils and town halls, they all saw a trim down. NHS saw a trim down, which shouldn't have been, because the health sector shouldn't see a trim down. But going forward, what should the Ghana government be doing? I mean, they should also be looking at doing that trimming down exercise themselves, instead of allowing. The reason why government expenditure is bloated is simply because the departments have increased in number. So if they don't want to trim it down, what do we do? Naturally, when people go on retirement, do not hire people to replace them again. I mean, even if you need to hire people to replace them, they must be hired in such a way that the departments or the ministries, as we call them, can be able to budget according to the sizes they have, and not over budget because they have too many people, or not carry out projects because they think the Ministry of Finance is going to endorse all that project for them. No, they all have to take a cut in a way. And if they can demonstrate they are doing that and they go to IMF, I don't think IMF is going to give them a structured program. IMF is going to look at what is being done and put an advice on it, how they can do it better. So I think that would have done my work. But the other thing I fear is if we go to the IMF and there's monies that are going to come, that is going to effectively see the downward trend the city is going further. So I mean, there is no win-win-win anywhere, really. But it's a bitter pill, and it has to be swallowed if it has to.
and you see, Kojo, you were talking about employment. You see, there are a lot of sectors that, in my view, and there are a lot of, recruitments that were done just because of politics. We're talking of tightening our belts. Why should the presidency be employing political activists, 500 of them, to the presidency again?
Yeah.
That today, as we speak, Akufo-Addo is telling us that he needs 2,150 people to run Jubilee House. This year alone, over 500 were added. Most of these people will be given SUVs, petrol, electricity. And most of these people we know at the Jubilee House are political. They are used for political operations. When was the last time you heard about Keita Harbour? When was the last time a ship docked over there? Do you know we've been paying the director of Keita Harbour?
For what?
Well,
there's no harbour.
There's no harbour, but we pay. Someone was appointed the director of Keita Harbour.
There's no harbour.
But there's no harbour. There's an empty space.
Constructed. Yeah.
I mean, it's an empty space.
I want them to appoint me Keita Airport.
Listen,
director.
That is far from my grandmother's place.
It's an empty space.
Yeah.
But there's a director who has been paid.
Exactly.
It's been paid, not has been paid. It's been paid and enjoying all the profits.
Yeah.
So
and it's not only the director. There are communication officers which obviously
staff,
has gone into
and everything.
other people.
Oh wow!
So you look at all these things and you ask yourself, are they serious? Why should we have deputy ministers and then we have about 3 advisors per ministry? They call them political and economic advisors. So when you see a minister, he counts to about 5-6 advisors. Right? Actually, the political employment, that industry, it's not by MPP alone, NDC alone, but that industry of appointing people just for the boys, something we might have to look at.
Wow.
The Keta port one shock you. Don't worry, you are made a director of airport.
Okay.
Cape Coast Airport.
With immediate effect.
Cape Coast Airport.
I mean,
wow.
Actually, don't be shocked. I mean, that happens in a whole lot of economic life and job creation, as they call it in Ghana. There are people filling roles that do not exist. Yeah, and they're being paid for it. It's a huge. I mean, we understand that it's a project that needs to be done, but why would you want to appoint people ahead of the project when the project hasn't even taken off from ground? We can understand if you have people doing feasibility studies, understand when you have project managers, but if you employ a CEO, a potential CEO who is not part of the management team, then it's really a bit worrying. I mean, you can have a small team of project managers, and you can have a manager overseeing the project manager, which will include like a communication officer or press officer or that kind of thing. But it has to be a small group of people, but not the type of people they have employed. So it's worrying. And
you are appointed director for a construction site, and then construction has not started.
Wow, interesting. Interesting. I mean,
yeah.
Was it yesterday? Yes, I went to a place, and then once I was there, Frank dropped me there, and then we were having a chat, and then the guy was telling me that he's been disappointed because he's an Ashanti, okay, and looking at MPP, and he said he's very, very disappointed.
That's the best thing that ever happened to Ghana. The election of Nana Akufo-Addo was the best thing that ever happened to Ghana, because for once, that tribal politics, baseline politics that we play in Ghana, I am an Ewe, and therefore I must vote for. I mean, Mahama is not an Ewe, but because the notion is that it was founded by an Ewe, we must vote for NDC because it's an Ashanti, if it's a dog, and he has an MPP color, I must vote for. I think that Akufo-Addo, if he has done Ghana any good at all, in my view, it is breaking that myth that we must all follow as dogs people from our tribes or parties from our tribe. For me, that's a plus that we must honor Akufo-Addo for, because he has proven that being Ashanti does not make you
somebody who can deliver when it comes to
Are you getting me? And being an Ashanti doesn't mean that you know how to administer or be an Akan. I mean, to a point they even say Akan. When it favors them, they say Akan. When it favors them, it's Ashanti. But I do believe that all those who are disappointed, who voted not because of what he promised to do, but because he was pure. I don't have a problem voting for Akufo-Addo.
Yeah.
In fact, those who voted for me, I congratulate them. They made a political choice. If your choice was based on the promises he made, most of them we know he couldn't fulfill them, he deceived them. That is fine. But if your voting or the driving, the push factor behind your voting was purely because it's an Akan, then thank you, be disappointed. That's good.
You've been proven.
You've been proven. I mean, that's good, because it's the same thing. If you're I wouldn't just say because I'm an Ewe, I wouldn't want to support anyone who will vote purely because it's this person is a Northerner and I'm a Northerner. Purely, I am a vote for them. No. So those who voted, and the majority voted because can afford it. Those who voted purely because Akufo-Addo was an account, thank God, you've actually proven one theory right. And that's it.
Now let's look at one thing. I think we will jump the money. Listen, you can our listeners, the household budget is on our broadcast last week. You can go to our Facebook or YouTube or social media platform, and then it is there. It is there. You have that. You see the tail end of that morning show on last Friday. The discussions are there. Just go on there and just listen to it, because we just got about 22 minutes, and I just wanted to run up with this. Now, do you think that the free SHS should be abandoned now? Because again, people are of the view that, look, we don't have the means. So you take your children to what do you call it at the time, a private institution, and then at the point when things are not good for you, you decide to take them to the public schools because it's cheaper to run to be able to afford that. Now, you think that we got to a point, I mean, where with that desperation that we find ourselves in, to now cut that, maybe just as we were saying from the word go,
again, that's another falsehood that the MPP is trying to play in the public domain. Look, when you collect tax revenue, there are different sources of income that comes into the consolidated fund. Akufo-Addo told us that the free SHS was going to be funded by a percentage of money that was supposed to go to Heritage Fund. There was an argument: do we save for posterity or we use it to invest in people today? And they claim that people cannot be suffering, paying school fees, and therefore the Heritage Fund, the money that is supposed to go to Heritage Fund, a portion of it will be taken to fund the future leaders today. So we're not taking money from any other source to fund the GET Fund, to fund what you call it, the free SHS, but it's proceed from oil money, a percentage.
And now we have a windfall when it comes to the oil.
You get me? And we've not been told that since the president came to power, we've actually stopped producing oil. We've not been told that the quantity of oil that we produce has gone down. In fact, 2 oil fields have been added
to it. In
fact, they were just coming when on shore when this government took power. So, if anything at all, the money within that basket should even be increasing. Now, some of us argue that, look, we cannot go for free SHS the way he wants to. We should go for a mean testing needy policy that people who can afford. As someone who has worked with students before, parents before, you can't tell me that the likes of Deliskema, Amamus, Ajay's, Boatins that have
well to do,
who pay as at that time, even as far back as 2000, can pay you a 5 million for extra classes, need to be supported to take their kids to Morning Star. Needs to be supported to take their kids to what they call it, SOS. They don't need that token to do that. Instead, let those who cannot, so that the little that we have, even if you are using that oil money to do it, could have actually help eradicate school school sanitaries, provide textbooks and other. Are you getting? We could have done that, but they choose to go for the populist approach. But you see, the populist approach has brought us to a point where now that they are failing on the other, they now want to put the blame and using the scare strategies. If you don't accept e-levy, we'll cancel your free SHS. E-levy has nothing to do, and that the revenue of SHS will have nothing to do with the funding of SHS. It's just like what they call, the other time I heard one of their ministers saying what they call it, pay the e-levy, then we can pay what they call it, this is December. Common fund. The law requires that 10% of whatever we collect, if it is £1, 10% of it should be set aside and sent to district for district assembly common fund. So whether you collect 10 Ghana, 4 Ghana, 5 Ghana, or whatever it is, 10%, the 10% should be sent. It's just like the way the Bible said. 10%. 10%.
1 million or you make 1,000, whatever.
Colonel Foretta were wise. He goes to church, but he has refused to give the 10% that is due the common fund to common fund. They've not been paying it. So don't come and tell me that the e-levy will be the one that you use to pay the 10%. That is fraud. That is fraud, because he should even be charged for not obeying the law, because the law says 10% must be set aside. Is that like telling me when we have NHIS, when you buy water, whatever you buy, NHIS levy, you see it over there.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that you are collecting that NHIS levy, use it for another thing. Come and tell me that if we don't, that is it. Misapplication and misappropriation. That is what. So the free SHS in some of our needs was unsustainable. Even the way they were implementing it was not going to bring, the right results. That and I wouldn't go for such a thing. But no one should tell us today that if you talk of school feeding program, even school feeding program, do you know Get Fund? Part of Get Fund and Get Fund, when you pay anything in Ghana, you buy anything, a portion of VAT is set aside as Get Fund. So they are legal. Is that like a fund has been set up that if it is £1, it must go here. If it's £2, don't tell me that you go and steal it from your mommy kitties and tell me that if your daddy don't give you, don't go and replace it. Stealing in the first place was a crime.
Kojo, what do you think? What do you think about this?
The Get Fund.
The free SHS.
I was going to link it with the Get Fund. Yeah, but I'll leave the Get Fund for now. It is really a tricky situation, right? The free HS by law, it's always been part of the Constitution. Let's be frank about that. It's been not Frank David. It's been in the Constitution. So why it wasn't done previously? There were obvious reasons that the state didn't have money to do it. So that were the reasons why it wasn't pursued. But however, there was a school feeding program, which I'm sure we all know. So we're not going to go back into that history. But a school feeding program was being supported by different NGOs. Some of our parents went to school free, and I think that same notion was carried through to the new constitution. So the president Akufo-Addo coming to say he wants to implement it, that was a great idea, that people who would not have otherwise gotten into school will have that opportunity to get into school. But as to how it had a far-reaching sponsorship for people even within private schools, I find it a bit, in the UK, here, or in any other democracy, if you put your child in a private school, it's your responsibility to pay for it. If your child is in a state school, then fine, he's covered with the government free education policy. So that is how I saw it. But reaching that far into some private institutions, probably it was a bit of a stretch for the government to try to take care of all. I do understand why they do that, but the notion behind it is simply everybody should benefit. But we have to understand that if you make a choice, choices come with. I think Kofi's line is disturbing us. Choices come with what? Options. So if I make a choice, that is an option I've taken. I've taken an option to pay my own ward or child's
fees.
So I shouldn't be expecting the government, in that sense, to support me with the free education program. So that also costs a lot of money. I don't know whether that should be restructured to make sure all the private institutions are not benefiting from all these monies going. That will in a way also reduce the Ministry of Education and the whole free education budget downward. That could be used for other purposes. So that said, I think there should be a second look at. I think the government should have a second look.
Listen to Starr Radio UK. We've got Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul Yakin on. So let's go to Kofi. Kofi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, doing very well, thank you. You?
I've been listening to all of you for some time.
Okay.
And I can't help laughing. I'm laughing at the level of the frustration. At the expression of hopelessness. At how low everyone is. And I ask myself, who is right and who is wrong? What exactly is happening? What came to my mind is, can you imagine all the things we are saying? Think of a psychiatric hospital. Can you think of a psychiatric hospital? And assuming, if I say, well, where you are talking about, nobody knows what is happening. You have a director for one place to be managed, and there's no team to manage it. Technically, you are talking about a psychiatric hospital managed by the patients. Can you see? In this psychiatric hospital, we are all, so Ghana to me is like, are we who are all patients, Ghanaians, all of us, not removing one, we are all patients. And we are telling some other patients that they are mad. We've forgotten that all of us are in the same mess. Why madman A is better than madman B. This is all we are doing. There's nothing more, nothing less to this argument. Let me ask you a question. And I like the direction Frank is coming from. It's very interesting. He said, when we go to IMF, we do this. He mentioned all those things, isn't it? And the option look like we are going to IMF. Have you ever asked yourself why, the side I want to bring where Frank is coming in that, it's good this man is voted into office. Why? Those who are voting on tribal lines will realize that it doesn't make to vote on tribal lines. Is that not true?
Yeah.
Good. Is he also not aligning that line of argument and mindset to those who are voting for NDC just because it's an NDC? They don't care.
Kofi was listening partially.
He was driving, so
Kofi didn't actually listen to what I said fully. So
please, let me, Lord, when I finish, you come in. let me do my stupidity. When I finish, you have your chance. Now, then some people say, well, Charlie, MPP all the way. Whether it's right or wrong, is MPP. So we become a kind of people who are not interested in the stuff, the argument. It's either we get it for NDC or we get it all for NPP. If we are not doing so, if we are not working on tribal lines, we are working on tribal political party lines. In other words, we are of this tribe. So politics has not now stopped becoming an organization and association of vision and reasoning. It has now become a union of people who, because Mahama said it, is right. Because Akufo-Addo said it, is right. Now, the danger we are all faced with is, the danger we are all faced with is that, even we forget to understand what brought the NDC out of government and put the MPP there. Have you forgotten about Eurobond? Have we soon forgotten that corruption, Eurobond, international debt are the reasons? Well, let me call back.
Okay, thank you very much, Kofi. Thank you very much, Kofi. Well, listen to Starr Radio UK. We've got about 9 minutes to go, and I still have Kojo with us. Let's see whether we can. Okay. I was trying to see whether.
You can mute him.
Yeah. Okay, I think he might. Yeah. Kojo is there.
Archie,
Yeah. I was trying to mute Kofi, but his line is dropped, so that's okay. Now.
Yeah, it's dropped his line.
Yeah. Okay. So now that there is, the law in the country that has given an instruction for where monies have to go. And until we say that Ghana is being wiped off like Ukraine is going on, and therefore people are not trading, and therefore we can say that, and there's no mining, and therefore we can say those monies are not coming in. So at the moment, where are these monies? These funds, people are trading, people are doing all sorts. You are talking about percentages. So maybe we were getting we were maybe trading up to 100 million, and they will get 10% of it. Now, so people are trading, call it 50 million instead of the 100 million. So those monies are coming, but where are they? Are they the laws? Are we? Is it such that we can get government to say, look, this money is going there, this money, or we have actually taken this money and we have invested it here? Well, can you give me a bit of insight to that? Any of you can go.
Okay, I think that's a difficult question for any of us to answer. But I mean, I don't think the country is making enough money. I mean, if the country were making enough money out of all remittances, let's add remittances from Ghanaians living abroad onto it. That all goes in as scarce foreign currency going into the country. So the country is not making enough. We are happy to go around saying that we have the best cocoa or the second producer of cocoa globally. But how much is that cocoa sold?
Yeah.
Okay. We quickly talk about we are probably the fourth or the sixth producer of gold in the world. I mean, don't forget, Russia also produces gold, China also produces gold, America is dropped down the line, Canada also. We are somewhere on the sixth on the ladder of either fifth or sixth. South Africa is behind Ghana.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, South Africa is behind Ghana. Angola also produces gold and diamond. We'll probably be saying all those things around, banding the air around. But does that bring enough income to the country? No. It doesn't in any way. It cannot sustain the running of a government. So there should be other mechanisms to bring money into the country. So not only into the country, we have to generate our own taxes within the system. The taxes even collected from VAT only apply to a people who can afford to buy goods from certain shops within the system. So a vast majority of people are not caught in that net. The people caught mainly in the net will be people running shops, people who prefer to be buying in certain shops. So but if I only buy from a market, I probably won't be caught in that net. The only time I will partly be caught is when I hop onto a public a private run trotro or taxi. So collecting taxes and money from people who should be paying taxes is a difficult thing. So it's just a small number of people in the official sector who are correctly paying their taxes. So so the tax net is a bit narrow to start with. The income that we make from foreign currency is not huge. You talk about, people talk about Ghana has oil. Why are they not making a lot from oil? Just look next door to Nigeria, our neighbor. They have millions of oil that they drill a day. Where is the money going to? It's a similar story. I mean, government signed contracts that they only have a 10% of the whole deal. I mean, the famous story that we know of an African country was that Brazil signed a whole concession to their oil fields by one man. I mean, and the man just profited until people call it out. So those are the things. We don't have enough. And we use the later that we collect in revenue from those places to do a lot of imports back into the country. So we collect $100, we use a whole $85 in that way. I'm just using that as an example to buy back imports that we need into the country. So it's a difficult thing to run a government. So that is why those running the government has to have a whole range of ideas to how to generate money, how to use the money they have at their disposal. So that is what we call individual budgets. So our budget expenditure is in excess of our income. So that's the whole issue.
Frank, Archie, Ghana, as we have it now, we do have a problem because there are obligations that we cannot run away from, i.e., interest payments, and that is why we are told that about 55% of our revenue now goes straight to pay interest.
Okay.
So that's why when you are borrowing, people caution that but when if borrowing is for productive ventures. A classical example is we can talk about Ghana Gas. About almost 1 billion was spent on that infrastructure. It's paid itself off, and now whatever we have
it's
now,
a profit.
now, if you look at Amari Energy, it's paid itself off. Okay, so if borrowing is geared towards some of those things, I think is. But what we did to a large extent, and that was exemplified by borrowing after issuing Eurobond, we celebrated with Kenke. That is to tell you that psychologically we position.
Could be said they are mad.
we are positioned to for consumption. That when we borrow, we have to consume them, because that is the symbolic gesture that we borrowed. We celebrate that we've consumed. And most of our borrowing over the years has been geared towards that. In 2016, we did not, as a country, we did not borrow. We did not finance our debts from, domestic market like Bank of Ghana. We didn't borrow money. Here, we've borrowed enough from Bank of Ghana that it's difficult enough, apart from printing more money, which will then have inflationary pressures. That's what you are looking at again if we want to go on that. But actually, keenly, we might have to look at our expenditure side. Personally, I think the culture of what they call it, how do I put this to make it simple? The benefit culture for people in public service at the top is too much. Now, take example. If you take parliament, why should we pay parliamentarians sitting allowance when they are being paid a salary? So Ayariga, who is a parliamentarian, was voted from Boko. He's being paid a monthly salary. But when he sits on educational committee or whatever committee, he's paid sitting allowance. Why?
For his extra time that he spent.
Which extra time?
It's that same time that he was supposed to have been in parliament to deliberate on issues.
I mean, you get what I'm saying? Why are we paying parliamentarians extra time? For that? What for? Then what are they there for? You have people who are chief directors today, who now have allowances for garden boys, allowances for water, allowances for garden boy, allowances for driver, petrol, allowances for cook, allowances for petrol, and other things,
clothing.
And you ask yourself, some of those policies were designed when we started as a country, and they help they created jobs for people. So if they are giving you garden boy allowance, the idea is that you are employing someone to be able to help tidy up your garden and everything, because they were living big and they were trying to, but at the end it generates a bit of income for them. And therefore, when we talk of spending, if it's one, is going a long way. You have a cook and why should we still be paying people, directors today, ministers and other things, garden boy allowance, cook allowance, shoe shine allowance, shirt allowance, whatever allowance? Why should we do that? Why should they be billing us for their suits when they decide to buy suits from Harrods?
Frank, can I a few of those allowances? I spoke to somebody who used to work in a bank. I mean, put it bluntly, I worked in a public sector, private sector when I worked in Ghana sometime in the 90s. but even in the private sector, you have all those coming, but they are fixed actually. I spoke to someone in the banking sector who told me that basically those things are there to motivate people to give out of their best.
Do they give out their best?
It motivates them to stay.
To give their best. But I think what has happened over time is that people have abused it. Look, when I worked in the private sector, when I was in Ghana, I had clothing allowance. But you don't claim it. They give you a certain small portion as part of your wages. You have a car maintenance allowance. That is small portion of your just towards your vehicle. Then they give you a little petrol allowance. They don't give you. It's not like a blank check where you. But it was part of structured into the wages. So in effect, the person was telling me if they take those portions from the wages, then they will have to actually increase the wages to the level where it is that they are just motivational and symbolic. But that said, there could be more to do to thin out some of the allowances that people benefit from. So fairly you're talking about Ayariga. I mean, I think some of the committees sit out of the sitting time on the floor. So when every parliamentarian sits on the floor and finish and they are gone, some of the committees will be sitting and having a further deliberation.
So extra work.
So I think it's the time that they pay for.
All right.
It's not necessarily because they are in their duties.
But Kojo, we know their salaries are set so high because of some of this extra work. You look at Senate in the US, you look at the MPs, even midnight.
Yeah, they do deliberations till
even midnight.
Yeah,
they are still deliberating. And they are paid 80,000. How many people in this country get 87,000 pounds? But MP salaries are around that because we are looking on all that. MPs in Ghana are some of the highest paid, right? So for us to go and be giving them 3,000 sitting allowance again, by the time the month is over, their sitting allowances are even more than their salaries.
Wow. Yeah, but don't forget, they collect here too. They collect such sitting. They collect a number of allowances.
No, they collect traveling allowances, but they don't collect extra sitting allowance. It's extra time. Even footballers don't get paid at that. Kojo.
but I know what you refer to, but they have a different level of allowances they collect here.
Yeah.
So people even collect traveling. Some people in the past, when there was the allowance scandal that broke out, people were collecting even things for their sheds, for their dog houses.
And you see what happened to them? They were all scrutinized.
They were all scrutinized. Yeah. Okay. Look at Ghana. I'm going to. Kojo, I'm coming to visit you. I'm a minister. Part of my job is I'm a minister for railway. The new railway that is being constructed in front of your house is my responsibility to make sure that I inspect it. It's part of my responsibility. I'm being driven by the taxpayer to your house to inspect that this thing because I moved from Accra when my job description did not say that I'll be appointed a minister of trade station in Accra. The job description is that I'm a minister of state for Ghana. So why should that be paid? Why should that be? Because that's what I'm paid.
Travel allowance.
So why should that be paid? You didn't buy the petrol.
I didn't sleep in my bed.
You didn't.
I have to go to sleep.
That's why your job description did not say you paid. The hotel was paid for. Your hotel was paid for.
Things are streamlined. I mean, if the hotel is paid for, you can't claim.
But they do pay them out of station. Allowance. But your job description did not say Accra.
Yeah.
You see, we are living a life as if we are like what do you call this? Yeah, that's as if we've got lots of funds to go around, but we don't.
If you take Accra regional minister who goes on an official duty to Boku and you pay him out of station allowance, I do not have a problem.
Yeah.
Because his job description says
that Accra,
that is and he would have known that before he accepted the job. But when you appoint a minister of state in charge of railways, a minister in charge of agriculture, and you travel to Bibiani to go and inspect cocoa farm, and you tell me out of station, which station is Ghana not part of your station?
Yeah, of course, that one I think everybody will understand. Yeah, I'm not really supporting them, but I'm just saying some of those allowances they could be looked at a second time, and some could be kept. I mean, if you expect, I think it's something that has carried on, but there could be an adjustment. Of
we have to.
Some of the allowances will be removed.
We have to.
Yeah.
Especially this Article 71 office holder. And actually, the last bit is corruption. You see, we talk about corruption, but I think Nana Akufo-Addo has disappointed a lot of us when it comes to the fight against corruption, because he has not demonstrated enough that he's someone who will shun away from corruption. In fact, what we've seen is he stretched his wings like an eagle, or
to cover the eaglets.
A chicken, which see the hawk, and covers the chicks. Ghanaians and the media come in and say, all the corrupt officials
come under me.
I issue a statement, blanket. That is what he's demonstrated, because there are a lot of examples. Look, when we're talking about this money, this billion, there's this allegation, and even no allegation from auditors report, that 52 billion was moved from Ghana Commercial Bank, which is a taxpayer's money, revenue collected, to an unknown account. Do you know government has not issued a statement on that? And no one has government official.
Why are they not asking? Why?
They've been asking, but it's like
no one is responding to it.
No government and Minister of Finance should be telling us who is in custody of that money. And you know one thing, I bet some of that money has been loaned back to Ghana as part of the loan. Good afternoon.
Okay, thank you very much, Frank. Kojo?
Yeah, I'll just conclude with this Bakavomo's case that has been raised by the Cambridge University, where he's pursuing a PhD degree. I think it is worrying for an university to raise the treatment of a young man, or how they, in a way they believe was breaching his rights,
human rights,
as a Ghanaian, and for that matter, they're asking for rule of law to prevail, because for numerous occasions he has not been, although he's been granted bail by the High Court, he still hasn't been let out. He's still been.
I think he got out yesterday.
I know he got out.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm trying to build it. He was. Yeah, I should have said he wasn't let out a long time. So I think that is what created the university to raise that issue about the rule of law should prevail and the treatment of the student is wrong. So how many people, and I think that the voice of the university has also added to he being released and just being on it. So because they didn't want a bad press globally. So how many people in Ghana have, the reason why I raised it, how many people in Ghana have faced such predicament? And there
are lots of them in the prison
to speak for them. So I mean, that is the whole reason why I wanted to raise it. That look, there are so many people in Ghana today being held in custody. Although High Court and other places have granted them bail, they're still being held in custody for one reason or the other, and there is no voice anywhere to speak on their behalf. So what do we do as Ghanaians? I think we must enforce. We must continue to push the narrative that the rule of law should be upheld in the country. So that's why I will end up.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kojo. Thank you very much. Have a lovely weekend. We'll catch up later.
Same.
Right. Yeah, same. Well, listeners, if Kofi was saying that we are all in a madhouse.
We are yes, second. We all second people.
I'm saddened because you know you when it's like giving birth to a kid and the kid growing up and you have prospect, you think that okay, but this time the kid should be doing that. And you see, the moment that kid is not doing that, you have to be worried, very, very troubled, because there is something fundamentally wrong with that kid, because he will not be able to attain anything. It's sad.
Well, don't be sad, Archie. That is it. That is the situation we find ourselves in, and until we change our politics, the way we look at politics, it's not going to work. But I think we're moving forward a bit. I mean, another myth has been broken, that it might be Nana to transform Ghana within 18 years.
So that didn't work.
Anybody who come against says I'm Jesus, if you don't think that someone pour urine on you.
Okay, Frank, thank you very much. But hey, the latest song that is making the round, this one from Black Rasta. Let me bring that your way. Enjoy it, and we see you all on Monday, God willing. But remember, this evening exactly at 7 o'clock, and if you have a work, it will be coming your way with the FIA show. And when the song ends, you don't hear from us. It's me, Archie, Mr. Frank Davis, Kojo D, Mr. Kofi Ali, and all the wonderful people who are on Starr Radio UK who came your way once again. Have a blessed weekend, and bye-bye for now.
Waiting there before Africa. Dusty old men holding on to power, leading the people to where the Creator. Wicked criminal leaders. See them a come, they coming like an angel. But them a thief, them no say them a thief. Mr. President, you coming like a savior. But you a thief, you no say you a thief. Thief President, why you thieving so? Thief man, why you thief so? The people they must suffer, but you don't care so. Thief man, why you thief so? I see the people crying every day, yo. They want food, them can't find. I see the youth looking for a job, oh. Every way, them can't find. Mr. President, him just barely food, oh. Him and the family, they no suffer, oh. Suffer, no poor man they suffer, oh. Suffer, rich man no they suffer. Suffer, no poor man they suffer, oh. Suffer, rich man they suffer. See them a come, they coming like an angel. But them a thief, them no say them a thief. Mr. President, you coming like a savior. But you a thief, you no say you a thief. Thief President, why you thieving so? Thief man, why you thief so? The people they must suffer, but you don't care so. Thief man, why you thief so? Mr. President, why you dey lie so? Before election, you tell me you be angel. When you sick, you run go a London. When we sick, we die for Kolebo. Mr. President, why you wicked so? Tell me how you dey sleep at night, oh. See them a come, they coming like an angel. But them a thief, them no say them a thief. Mr. President, you coming like a savior. But you a thief, you no say you a thief. Thief President,